The first Bushido event of 2006 promises to deliver a big bang as Pride Fighting's Bushido 10 features the best lightweights and welterweights on the planet. Hello there, I'm Aurelio, welcoming you to the Ariake Coliseum in Tokyo, Japan for what promises to be another sensational night of mixed martial arts action. Joining me is my Bushido broadcast partner and top 170-pound competitor, Frank Trigg. What's up, Trigg?
Hey, Bar, how you doing? Thanks again so much for making sure with you another great card of Pride Fighting Championships.
All right, tonight's card will be headlined by the respective Bushido champions. Pride's lightweight division has been dominated by Takanori Gomi. He defeated Hayato Maha Sakurai for the lightweight tournament title at Shockwave 2005, and recently he and fellow tournament champion Dan Henderson were officially presented with the respective Pride world title belts as well. Tonight, Gomi puts his undefeated Pride record on the line against Marcus Aurelio in a non-title bout. How do you break down this matchup?
I love Aurelio. I think he's really, really good. He comes from that famed American top team of the ATT, like to be called, which means he's great at submissions. If he can control this pace of this fight, get Gomi to the ground, there's a great chance of submitting him. Now, he needs to keep his hands up, though, because Gomi is a very long, cagey fighter and uses footwork to his advantage. Gomi, on the other hand, has great, may I say, incredible body shots. He will literally put a guy to the canvas just by hitting him to the body. You're in for a treat tonight when you watch him fight. Now, Gomi is an amazing, patient person. He won't rush anything. He'll take his time. If he just does what he normally does, which is to be the fireball kid, he'll find himself in victory circle again. All
right, the Bushido welterweight tournament champion Henderson will take on Kazuo Misaki in another non-title bout. Now, Henderson, who defeated Murillo Bustamante for the welterweight tournament title at Shockwave 2005, has never lost at 183 pounds. Misaki says he's going to come in and KO or submit the champ. What are the keys to this one, Trigg?
Now, Mal, forgive me. I'm a little biased when it comes to Dan because he is a friend of mine. I just think Dan needs to be AGG-RESSIVE aggressive. If he does that, he'll control the inside, which is perfect for his Greco-Roman, two-time Olympian stature, that he'll be able to control the pace of the fight. Now, Dan has an amazing right hand. He's following up with a left hand. If he does that and does it effectively, he'll win this fight easily. Now, Misaki has an incredible guillotine. If he gets Dan to the ground, Dan's got to keep his neck tight because he'll start looking for that guillotine early. If he does it, Misaki will control the pace of this fight. Needs to make sure he always keeps his hands up, watch out for that right hand, and uses footwork, which I believe is a little bit faster than Dan's.
All right, tonight also features, simply put, a grudge match as the rivalry between Brazil's Shooter Box Academy and Brazilian top team reaches the boiling point. BTT's Paulo Filho squares off against Murillo Ninja Hua, who is making his debut at welterweight. Trigg, there is no love lost between these two warriors and their factions.
No, I firmly believe this, Mar. When you got two great teams as these two, and the best guys they have at this weight class to put them in the ring against each other, and mind you, these two teams truly want to do harm to one another, it is going to make for an incredible fight. It will literally be survival of the fittest. Filho, incredible ground guy, needs to get it to the ground, and surprisingly enough, for being such a good ground practitioner, amazing angles on his feet. He truly knows how to get in and out of the punching range and can control it. Now, Ninja, coming from the Shoot the Box Academy, we know for sure he will come forward at all times and be very, very aggressive. He'll back it up with amazing knees that he will throw from incredible angles. Now, the one thing I love about the Shoot the Box guys, they're always in incredible cardio condition. Now, you guys are in for a special treatment to see this fight because both these guys are incredible warriors.
All right, Trigg, before we get to the action, what do the judges in Pride look for when scoring a fight?
Well, the good news is I got to sit down with Matt Hume, a fellow wrestler, but also the man that's in charge of judging and scoring for Pride, and he gave them to me in this order. And there's 5 of them, and you may want to write them down because we did. The first thing is effort to finish the fight by KO submission. The second thing, damage to your opponent. The third, standing combinations and ground control. The fourth, takedowns and takedown defense. And the fifth thing, my favorite, of course, is aggressiveness.
Also in Pride Fighting Championships, there is the card system. Yellow cards for fouls, 3 yellow cards, you're disqualified. And specifically here in Bushido, there's the green card, which is given out by the referee for stalling, and there is no quota when it comes to handing out the green cards. And oh yeah, Trigg, no matter which color card you receive, if you get one, it's 10% out of your paycheck.
I gotta tell you what, that's a lot of cheese to come out of your pocket.
All right, let's get ready as Pride Fighting Championships brings you the way of the warrior. It's Bushido 10. Let's go now to the parade of fighters.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your Pride Bushido athletes! The first match.
Paul Rodriguez.
From the United States of America, Paul Rodriguez!
This guy went the distance with Bushido ace Takanori Gomi 6 years ago. Paul Rodriguez is making his Bushido debut against Mitsuhiro Ishida, who spent his entire career in the Japanese organization Shudo. This is his first appearance in Pride Bushido. Little Evil Jens Palmer, devastating puncher, former UFC lightweight champ, always puts on a show for the crowd. Illness forced Masakazu Imanari to the sidelines. Kenji Arai given a golden opportunity in his first Bushido appearance.
The third match.
The Brazilian Wolverine, Luis Azevedo, has been in 2 titanic struggles with Takanori Gomi already. This could be the fight of the night as he takes on Hellboy Joachim Hansen, a native of Norway. And the striking Viking is one of the top lightweights on the planet.
The fourth match.
The Battle of Brazil sees Brazilian top team powerhouse Paulo Filho put his undefeated MMA record on the line. He's been a rival from Shooter Box Academy. Murillo Ninja wants to be a force in the welterweight division, and he is without a doubt in the best shape of his life. MMA has exploded in popularity in South Korea. Daewon Kim is hoping to make his country proud in his Bushido debut. They call him the Big Mouth. In Japan, Akihiro Gono has never met a microphone he didn't like. Giant Silva's only win in Pride came against Ikuhisa Minowa sparring partner Sentorio at Total Elimination 2004. Meanwhile, Minowa, whose popularity in Pride has reached cult status, is fresh off a win in England in February.
The seventh match.
Misaki, Kazuo.
Kazuo Misaki embodies the Bushido spirit, saying he would rather lose by KO or submission than win a boring fight that goes the distance. The American athlete Dan Henderson back in action in a non-title bout after beating Chonan, Gono, and Bustamante to win the Bushido welterweight tournament title. Marcus Aurelio knows how amazing Takanori Gomi is on his feet, but he's less than impressed with the Fireball Kid's ground game. Gomi did it all in 2005, winning Pride MVP honors, Fight of the Year against Tatsuya Kawajiri, and of course the Bushido Tournament Lightweight Championship. What does he do for an encore in 2006? We are about to find out as the #1 MMA organization on the planet, Pride Fighting Championships, presents Bushido 10.
出ると決まった時はやっぱり喜びと不安がどっちも一緒に襲ってきたんですけども、今はすごくリラックスしている状態です。
To be honest, at this weight, I think I'm as well-rounded as any fighter, in the division. I think I'm as good on my feet, and I'm hard to take down. And I think I've lived off my back mostly because fighting in heavier weight classes, so and I've survived it. And with the team I'm with now and being with Gracie Barra for the, getting my belts. I mean, I've learned a lot. My learning curve over the last 3 years has been higher than anybody who's at this level.
これが勝ってるっていうのはちょっとやってみないとわからないんで、ちょっと何とも言えないんですけども、そうですね。とりあえずテイクダウンしたらどんどんパウンドを打ち続けて思いっきり顔面殴ってやろうかなと思ってますけど。
I'm gonna try to keep it on my feet. I'm gonna try to, I don't plan him to throw many punches. So normally on my feet I like to counter punch and throw big shots. But I realize I'm about to attack, and I'm going to, and I'm gonna come out, and I'm not gonna jab. I'm just gonna throw right hands and hooks and try to catch him coming in. To be honest, I've probably never been more confident in a fight. I've never, except for my first one, maybe I've never had an easy fight. I've always fought bigger guys, and I fought, a lot tougher guys than this. So not to take anything away from him or what he can be, but, I just, the crowd is not going to bother me. I feel real confident, so I just don't, I'm actually real relaxed. I'm anxious. I'm ready to get out there and do it.
熱い試合をして、はい、思いっきり勝ちたいですね、KO で。
I'm looking to knock him out. I'm looking to knock him out or TKO him. I'm looking to, sprawl, get him a little frustrated. If he takes me down, get back up, waiting for him to make a mistake, and then I'm looking to hit him with a right hand or my left hook, and then when he falls, I want to keep hitting him until it's either a knockout or a technical knockout.
これより第2試合を行います。青コーナー173センチ 70.9 キロポール・ロドリゲス
Paul Rodriguez is 35'8", 155 pounds, making his debut in Bushido.
168センチ 70.8 キロ石田
Mitsuhiro Ishida is 27'5'6", 154 pounds, also making his first appearance in Pride's Bushido event. And you saw on the screen there momentarily his teammate at T-Blood, Tatsuya Kawajiri. Kawajiri involved in the Pride Fighting Championships 2005 Match of the Year against Takanori Gomi at Bushido, the tournament, in what was a memorable stand-up war, Trig.
I mean, he's amazing. That entire camp is incredible. Every single guy that comes out of that camp is above average in any fight card anywhere in the world.
Ishida was the 2003 Japanese representative at the Abu Dhabi Combat Championships. Meanwhile, Rodriguez, a recent addition to the vaunted American top team in Florida and their new state-of-the-art 20,000 square foot training center. So this should be a good one as well. Ishida and Rodriguez getting it on in round number 1. Ishida, an amateur wrestler in college, has good takedown techniques.
Wow, and some fast feet as well. I'm kind of surprised to see that head kick come so early.
Rodriguez, a wrestler, Brazilian jiu-jitsu practitioner. His biggest strength is his ground game. So look for this one to eventually go to the canvas. Nice tie clinch by Ishida and a couple of knees.
Great job, nice power, good positioning.
Rodriguez bull rushes him into the corner momentarily, and Ishida now turns out of the corner. Back into this Greco-Roman clinch here. For the takedown, nice single leg shot and takedown by Ishida. Showing lightning quick speed.
Wow, right to a guard pass as well. Very, very good. Was almost caught in Rodriguez's butterfly guard, got right past it.
Showing some incredible speed in the early going is Mitsuhiro Ishida.
Prepping, little small peppering shots. Always trying to keep your opponent under pressure. Always trying to keep your opponent under duress at all times.
Ishida now getting back up to a base and caught in the half guard of Rodriguez. But creating that distance, that separation that's important when you want to deliver the strikes.
I'm sorry, I thought he was going for Kimura there, right there. It looked like Rodriguez was sitting over for it. He has good position with his hands, or with his legs rather. I don't know if he can get his hands to the right spot.
Back into the closed guard, and of course guard in mixed martial arts as Ishida postures up here now.
Well, for those of you that are new to the game, the guard is where you see where Rodriguez has his legs wrapped around Ishida's body, Ishida's body, and is trying to basically control him, looking for a submission. As you can see him climbing his legs up a little bit to an armbar.
It's all about leg positioning and hip movement, isn't it, when it comes to an effective guard?
Yep, yeah, absolutely. You have to be able to know where to put your legs and how to move them and get your hips around to get to the good spots. You can see now he's putting his feet on his hips and trying to get position. Well, Ishida is definitely coming down heavy with those strong down punches.
Yeah, throwing some Superman strikes there was Mitsuhiro Ishida. Now trying to look for the pass again and goes. Side control, good reversal here by Rodriguez.
Oh, nice front choke. Wow, this right into it. Paul's kind of caught. Oh, it's it.
Over Mitsuhiro Ishida with the front choke.
Wow, that is very surprising. Ishida is amazing with that. He walked himself right into it. As soon as he got some separation, attacked the head almost like a little bulldog, ran him into the corner and pinned him against the ring post. We said it in the fight before. You got to get your guy in the corner, put him in the corner, lock him up there, and got that submission.
2 minutes and 29 seconds of the opening round with the front choke. Mitsuhiro Ishida makes his Bushido debut, a victorious one, and this guy's on a tear in his last fight. He won a majority decision over Kenichiro Togashi to win the Shudo Pacific Welterweight Lightweight Championship. This guy has been in many wars, and looks like he has a bright future here in Bushido as well, Trey.
Right, amazingly strong, came in great shape, pushed it, absolutely went after it. I mean, he was just a little bulldog on there. It was incredible to watch him go for that submission. Nice high crouch right here is what we call it in wrestling. Switches immediately off, kind of gets caught in that underhook, but immediately, as you see, steps right over for the guard pass. Gets right by Rodriguez's body. Now you see him, swings around, pushes him right into the corner. He uses the ring post to his advantage to finish off the submission. That's a great job by Ishida. Incredible work to use that ring post to his advantage.
A very slick submission here, and you can already see it. The positioning there is already slipped under his right forearm there and just puts pressure and chokes out Paul Rodriguez early in round number 1. A tremendous debut for Mitsuhiro Ishida. And don't forget, there you have him with his Shudo Pacific belt. Now addressing the crowd here at the Ariake Coliseum. And there you see his teammate Tatsuya Kawajiri, member of T-Blood. So as he continues to talk to the crowd, thank them for their support, excited to be here in Pride Fighting Championships. Trig, let's remind the fans at home the next time you will see Pride Fighting Championships on pay-per-view, well, it's coming up May the 5th, Osaka Dome, for the beginning of what many people are calling one of the greatest tournaments in history, the Pride Fighting Championships Open Weight Tournament. Trig, this one should be interesting.
Absolute weight tournament. It'll be incredible. You can see a lot of really big name guys out there fighting, trying to get another Pride Grand Prix belt.
There's Hayato Maha Sakurai taking in the action. We can tell you that Hidehiko Yoshida and Tsuyoshi Kosaka are already into the tournament. The first official entrance, it begins May 5th at the Osaka Dome, the Pride Open Weight Tournament, as we again take one more look at a great debut for Mitsuhiro Ishida, some tremendous speed, and finishes it off slickly with that front choke, vanquishing Paul Rodriguez here at the Ariake Coliseum, Bushido 10.
Great job, and it pleases my heart every time you see a wrestler like that get after. You can see his ears. He's got some great cauliflower ear that most great wrestlers have. And you just look at how happy he is just to be here, just to be in. And that's the kind of fights that you're going to find here in Pride. Guys with so much respect. They love to be here. They just love to fight on this stage.
Obviously, disappointment.
Yeah, extremely disappointed. I trained so long, so hard, and start off slow, which was, never did a 10-minute round, so I was going to start off a little slow, and then I turned to my knees and get caught in day one stuff, and it's just like, he sunk it in, he locked it up. Had I not been where I was in the ring, I might have been able to defend it, but he was good. He put my back against the ropes, so I couldn't escape, and then neck cranked me. So, it's a little frustrating, but, I don't know.
Now what?
I don't know. I'm going to go back, and this is one of these things where it's like, it's a 1 in 1,000 chance you're going to get caught in a guillotine like this, so I don't know. I'm a little down right now, but had I came out and just got the living crap kicked out of me, I'd be more reassessed. But it's a little demoralizing, but it's just going to make me work harder, and, I'm definitely going to learn to protect my neck more when I come out of that position. It's just, I can't believe I got caught in that, so.
Pride Fighting as a heavyweight champion. Pride Fighting as a middleweight champion. Now Pride is searching for the world's best absolute fighter. 16 fighters from different weight classes will square off in the world's biggest fighting tournament ever. Finally, one absolute fighting champion will be crowned, and only one organization is big enough to bring it to you. Pride Fighting Championships. Total Elimination. Absolute. Premiering Friday, May 5th on pay-per-view.
I've been injured, so I got to sit around and I took the time. I finally had, 6-7 months where I just got to lift and get big, and went, took my time, slow, healed, did everything I could do to gain some size. And before I knew it, I was 175 pounds, and then I started training and working my way down. And no, it's good. It's good to finally be back at the weight that I was a long time ago. 143 was so hard to make, and when I got down there, that was just tough to get it back up. I got so much cardio that I do in training in a day that it's just hard to put any kind of weight on, so. Having my opponent change hasn't really done too much to me other than now I'm just kind of curious to who it is. You know, I want to meet him. I'm not meet him like, hey, how you doing? But I'd like to see him. I haven't even seen an image of him. So, but it does nothing in the way of I'm going to go out there and do what I want to do regardless of who it was in front of me in the first place. I don't watch too many tapes on anybody. I'll watch them every now and then to see their patterns, see what they do. But I can't stand watching tapes on a guy, see him beat up somebody, you know, and they're like, oh my God, he's that good. No, I mean, I'm always like, well, it's not me, so it'll always be different. So I'm going out there with the way I trained. I'm going out there to do what it is I wanted to do, whether or not my opponents change or not. It doesn't really do much to me because I'm excited. Like I said, I'm excited to be here fighting. I'm excited to go out there and do my thing, what I've been training on, regardless of what it is they're going to do. I look at everybody's got the abilities now. Everybody's well-rounded. The sport's been around long enough, so he knows everything. So you still got to go out there sharp, clean, and I just want to land my punches, my kicks, you know, maybe a takedown for the first time in 5 years. I don't know. We don't know. But, so no, it doesn't matter if they change the opponent to me, you know, not right now.
ただいまより本日の第3試合を行います。
And now for the third match.
青コーナーよりジェーンス・パルマー選手の入場です。
They call Jens Pulver Little Evil, but Trig, he could easily be referred to as Kid Dynamite because each one of his fists are just that, a stick of dynamite. This guy knows how to throw.
Let's not forget, he also was a pretty good wrestler at Boise State University as well, so he also has some incredible amateur experience in wrestling. Not only can he punch you, but he can take it down if he chooses to do so.
He's been a pro boxer, has even made an appearance on national television in the United States. A southpaw frequently catches his opponents off guard, and you know, here we are singing his praises. A former champion in the US as well, has done tremendous here in Japan, always a game opponent. And at Bushido, the tournament, what many are calling the greatest MMA event in history, he and the much bigger Hayato Maha Sakurai had a terrific tilt, with Sakurai recording the victory late in the first round via referee stoppage.
You know, Sakurai was one of my losses as a professional fighter. Sakurai's a tough opponent. The way that Jens came after, the way that Jens went after it, just tells you how important and how big Jens' heart really is.
And there you see him motioning to his heart, and in fact, in that loss to Sakurai, incurred a left eye injury, and that's why he's been on the sidelines for just over half a year. Happy to be returning to Pride Bushido tonight.
Our corner, 170センチ、71.7 キロ。
Jens Little Evil Pulvers, 35'7", 161 pounds, 1 and 2 in Pride.
赤コーナー、176センチ、70キロ。
Kenji Arai is 26'5'9", 161 pounds, making his first appearance in Bushido. And the reason we are seeing Kenji Arai tonight, Trig, is because Pulver's scheduled opponent, the leg lock specialist Masakazu Imanari, was ill, forced to the sidelines, so it presents a golden opportunity for Arai to step up and showcase his stuff against the very talented Jens Little Evil Pulver, sporting a sub-500 record in Pride. But we talked about the loss to Sakurai in Bushido, the tournament. His Pride debut was against none other than Takanori Gomi at Shockwave 2004, and they put on a boxing display for the ages before Gomi KO'd Little Evil.
Arai's in a good position right now to go ahead and take this over, because Pulver didn't have any chance to have any time to look at him and have any time to scout him because he's a last-minute replacement.
Nice sprawl by Pulver. Looking to deliver some knees. And again, if you control the head, you control the body. And Pulver doing a good job here in the early going, Trig.
Nice couple of knees right there, sneaking some through, little peppering shots. Good job. Good work by Jens. I like it. I like it so much better when he's trying to wrestle with his boxing, not just boxing. He does a much better job when he fights.
Another southpaw again, and you saw him connect with that left straight. Nice combination delivered by Arai, and there's Pulver going to the tie clinch and delivering a couple of knees.
He's doing a great job, Jens isn't. Arai is definitely staying in there. If you can see, he's nice and loose, snapping his punches out. Arai is.
Oh yeah, Arai is here to throw down as well, no doubt about it. He is staying in the pocket, and they are exchanging blows here in the first minute of this bout. Now it's Pulver picking up the pace, and Arai comes back, and this Arai could take a shot. What a war we are seeing, and the fans begin to respond. This thing is a slugfest, and Pulver's been caught. Kenji Arai on very short notice.
Wow, both these guys are throwing hard and accurate and stiff punches. Great job.
And again, Pulver goes to the neutral position of controlling the head as Arai seemed to be getting the better of that stand-up exchange. And how often can you say that when it involves Jens Little Evil Pulver?
What Arai did, he made the mistake. He was beating Jens to the punch and went to try to go for a takedown, which stopped everything down. And Jens just great takedown defense, got the hold of his head.
Left hands going to the body and upstairs, and what a tremendous tilt here at Bushido 10 between Pulver and Kenji Arai. Arai has arrived.
Kenji's doing a great job getting those straight punch out, getting that straight jab out there in front.
It looks like Pulver was rattled by that scoring combination, still trying to regain his faculty, slow it down here at pace, but Arai comes back with a high left roundhouse.
Plus, what a unique position. We're looking at two southpaw fighters, which is very rare to see when two guys are throwing punches, which means both of them are a little bit more comfortable at throwing straight punching. Most southpaws have to fight right-handed guys, orthodox styles. And you can beat a right-handed guy when you're left-handed by throwing a straight punch. Both these guys are used to doing that, so now they're fighting another lefty. It's going to make for an interesting matchup.
Saw a great 1-2 combination from Arai, but now Pulver comes back, brings him to the canvas, and now a series of knees. This could be it, but look at Arai get back up to his feet and survive.
Wow, he got dropped there. Arai got hit so hard, he fell. He hit right down. It was a great job to come back.
Tagged again. Unbelievable. You talk about swinging for the fences.
Good defense by Pulver. He's definitely keeping his hands up, trying to get out of the way. Kenji's just throwing with pure abandonment. Kenji's just trying to throw every punch that he can right now to connect.
And look at the crowd in the background, each and every one of them sporting a grin from ear to ear. They are seeing a war between Kenji Arai and Jens Pulver. And a push kick by Arai. Pulver with a vicious left hook.
Got to follow it up. You're going to hit him once, you got to hit him a couple more times after. There was a great, nice, clean hook. Should have followed up with a couple more punches.
And there's another single shot from Pulver. I think Pulver's been hurt by Arai here in this first round.
Yeah, absolutely. Both guys have been hurt by each other.
But Arai seems to be the more comfortable right now.
He absolutely is. He definitely is a little bit more patient. He seems to be a little bit more comfortable in there. Whether it's a sell or if he's actually more comfortable in there is the question.
And escapes another situation there as Pulver had him in the tie clinch and keeping him at bay with the right jabs as Arai comes back with the left. Pulver imploring him to throw back. And
he's wobbled.
It's going to be a case of left man standing, a kick, and another one by Pulver. And the fight has been waved off, but I don't think you're going to get much better action than that.
Wow, great job by Jen. Just stayed in the pocket, stuck with his game plan, kept pushing forward.
And again, safety is paramount. Many people may be at home, and you can see it right there, the cut. That was definitely the right decision by the referee at 3 minutes and 59 seconds of the opening round via TKO. Jens Pulver improves to 2-2, but that's the best 3 minutes and 59 seconds of sustained action you could ask for, Trig.
I mean, both guys threw the entire time. It truly was nonstop action. No one took a breath the entire time. Great job by Jens Pulver, staying in there, getting his hooks and his straight punching off. Incredible work by Jens.
Man, what heart, what intestinal fortitude displayed by Kenji Arai, again, getting the call at the very last second and showcasing that Bushido spirit, the way of the warrior. Two warriors going toe-to-toe here tonight.
As you see right here, Jens stepping in through that left, and that's what dropped Arai earlier. A couple of knees to the head. Arai amazingly somehow comes out of this and stands back up and comes right back into the fight. Ties him up for a quick second. You see here in this replay, Arai coming back on Jens, throwing back a bunch of unanswered punches. There, that one that wobbles him. This is the beginning of the end of this fight. He's wobbled out at this point.
Begins to stagger.
Nice head kick. That was the end of the fight. That was the finishing blow. But it was really, he got hit earlier right on his way down. You see him get wobbled right here.
And already the referee on the scene, monitoring it very closely. And he misses the first kick, but boom, there is the scoring blow to end this fight in electrifying fashion. Jens Pulver by TKO over Kenji Arai, but something tells me that this youngster Arai has earned himself a repeat visit to Pride Bushido.
Absolutely, he definitely loves the fight.
And the fans salute both combatants.
Great job. This was an amazing, a super exciting fight.
Perfect display of what mixed martial arts is all about. The reason that MMA is indeed the fastest growing sport in the world. A great victory for Jens Little Evil Pulver. Trig, take us through the replay one more time.
You see, this is the finishing blow right here. Kenji just sat up, was looking to grab a hold of Jens because he was on the ground, gets rolled over, and just ends up eating a shin kick, which is completely legal here in Pride. Incredible fortitude on Jens' part to be looking for it after he rolled to the ground. Jens, absolutely amazing job again tonight.
One of the more affable, personable fighters in the sport, Jens Little Evil Pulver, putting on some size and indeed always showcasing plenty of heart. What a tilt that was. Pulver indeed victorious, and Trig, that one may indeed be a candidate for Hardcore Knockouts Volume 3, which I know will indeed feature the very best knockouts in Pride Fighting Championships. That indeed has to be a candidate.
Oh, absolutely. That was a great way to end it. Nice long fight. Everybody was pushing, and both guys were throwing back and forth, and never one person didn't dominate the other. It was a very evenly matched fight, with Jens Pulver having a little bit more heart, a little better conditioning, and a little better hand speed to finish the fight.
Jens Little Evil Pulver with the victory march to the dressing room, signing an autograph. Why not? Again, a former champion in the United States, and definitely possesses the heart of a champion. Has been always entertaining when fighting in Pride, and then this is fourth fight, probably his best performance to date.
I mean, Jens hasn't had the easiest beginning. You know, he truly had to struggle his way through. He fought on one card at one night where it was free bacon being given away on one of the cards. You know, it's one of those, he hasn't had the easiest road. He didn't show up on the scene one day. He's worked his butt off to get to where he is. You can see he's a huge fan favorite. You will never find a nicer guy than you will in Jens Pulver.
You know, he may have won at Free Bacon Night, and tonight at Bushido 10, he brought home the bacon.
You guys are banging.
Yeah, that was, we were going to work on takedowns today. I think the first snap down ended my wrestling for the day right there. But, man, once he hit me, I had to, okay, now I got to hit you back. At one point, he wobbled me a little bit, and I was like, yeah, I can't let that happen. I want to win this. I heard the crowd. It's like, yeah, this is kind of why I'm here, so let me do it one more time, you know.
How bad did he shake you up in here?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, now I could see and everything, but I was like, good thing there wasn't 2 or 3 more of those coming, you know. So, again, I just had it in my head because, you know, they switched it on the, I got a day notice, you know, and it ended up being a southpaw striker. So it was different. I was worried all day about that kick, his left leg, so I just tried to keep my right up. And then I wanted to get in, and when we started banging, it was just pretty much don't get too wild, but I wanted to knock him out at that point.
You seem to get a little tired.
Yeah, I wasn't ready for that. I've been neglecting my cardio a little bit.
How many bacon burgers?
It was there for a while. I was trying to get up from 143 to 160. It was a lot of bacon burgers, but yeah, you know, I got Spencer and Monty, AJ back there in my corner when they're all telling me, hey, we need to get in some shape. They're right, you know, it's time to get to running, probably focus less on everything else and just get my cardio back up.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Pride Fighting as a heavyweight champion. Pride Fighting as a middleweight champion. Now, Pride is searching for the world's best absolute fighter. 16 fighters from different weight classes will square off in the world's biggest fighting tournament ever. Finally, one absolute fighting champion will be crowned, and only one organization is big enough to bring it to you. Pride Fighting Championships. Total Elimination Absolute. Premiering Friday, May 5th on pay-per-view.
Bom, acho que vai ser uma luta muito boa. Meu adversário é um atleta muito bom. Só que eu vim aqui para ser o número 1 E quero mostrar isso pro mundo, é meu sonho, é minha vida. E eu vou dar meu máximo lá em cima. Só saio de lá se for morto.
It's crazy and wild, but it doesn't. I'm not worried about that. I keep the pressure up, confront him in every way. Let him, if he hits 1,000 times, you know, but his hits doesn't make any damage, you know. He's just gonna get tired and then he's gonna slow down, you know. So I just have to keep my chin down and my guard tight.
Vou enxergar qualquer golpe que ele tentar fazer. Se ele tentar me golpear em pé, eu vou enxergar. Se ele tentar me dar uma queda, eu vou enxergar. Se ele tentar alguma finalização, eu vou enxergar. Eu estou preparado para isso. E não tem surpresa para mim ali no ringue.
The Brazilian Wolverine, Luiz Azeredo's 29, 5'8", 159 pounds, 2-2 in Pride.
175センチ、70.8 キロ。
Joachim Hellboy Hansen's 26, 5'9", 154 pounds, 2-1 in Pride. Trig, this matchup, huge implications in the lightweight division. And again, ample proof that the best lightweights in the world are right here in Pride Bushido.
Both these guys, amazing strikers, got great head kicks, great knees. This is going to be a battle for the ages.
Both of them involved in the memorable Bushido, the tournament. Azeredo knocked out Naoyuki Kotani in only 11 seconds before being bested by Takanori Gomi in a very entertaining matchup. Azeredo had given Gomi a good test in their first meeting at Bushido 7 before being brutally knocked out there. Hansen, of course, one of only two people to beat Takanori Gomi. And right away, a flying knee from Azeredo, and he begins to unload. And we didn't anticipate a filling out process in this one.
No, not at all. That's the cool thing with the lightweights and with the welterweights. There really isn't that much of a filling out process. They step right into it, go right after it.
Hansen defeated Eve Edwards via split decision in the first round of the Bushido tournament, and then was vanquished by Ayato Maha Sakurai. Both fights, again, going the distance. Edwards and Hansen, a split decision for Hansen. Nice tie clinch here by Azeredo, always in motion.
Good defense by Hansen. If you see him, he gets caught on the inside a little bit. He uses forearms as blocking powers as well when he's late. Great punching, wow.
And Azeredo bringing it to Joachim Hansen, going for the single leg. Good balance here exhibited by Hansen, but tenacious. Azeredo gets the takedown.
And that's the key from, coming from a wrestling background. I know when I tell you this, I'm pretty positive I have a pretty good control over this, that when you want to get a takedown, you have to continually move once you get that leg. That's what happened there. That's why Joachim is on the bottom now.
Azeredo, a black belt in Muay Thai and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but Hansen very adroit from the bottom. In fact, he's got some great kicks, as we're seeing, the up kicks, and a great striker from the bottom.
Yeah, he's actually had a couple of damaging blows he's done to a lot of his opponents from the bottom position, which you really don't expect. Getting a reset here, having to bring it back to the center when they think they're about to get too close to the ropes. Want to bring him back to the center, start him in the same position.
Hansen's been training and grappling for 8 years, in MMA for 5. Participated in the 2003 Abu Dhabi Submissions Tournament. It's the BJJ brown belt. But again, also very proficient in the stand-up, although right now working from Hansen's guard is Azeredo, doing a good job here, picking him up and slamming him down.
Well, great job. A lot of explosion, uses hips perfectly. Hansen's covering up nicely.
Azeredo from the Vantage Shooter Box Academy again, very, just like a Wolverine, hence the nickname. Very tenacious, just straight ahead. Oh, but he gets caught by Hansen's left hand, and he's in trouble.
Great job, excellent work by Azeredo. Go ahead and tie up. Luis is trying to tie Hansen up to keep him getting hit.
Reminiscent, going for the armbar here now, although he's continuously peppered with those left hands from Hansen, reminiscent of what happened against Takanori Gomi in their first fight. He stung Gomi, but then was knocked to the ground with that vicious left hook, and Hansen did the same here.
Doing a great job. Henderson is incredible. Always throwing punches in bunches. You can see he's always keeping the pressure on. Azaredo's not getting any chance to set himself up for any kind of submission. He's always having to worry about getting hit.
Although Azaredo right now is given the opportunity to try to regain his faculties after being rocked with that vicious strike from Henderson. Henderson doing a great job of posturing up. There's some hammer fist from the bottom by Azaredo.
Henderson is incredible. Just sat there, drops his forehead, takes those punches full in the forehead without even a hesitation. Just look at the face. Look at his face. He's determined. He's trying to, not only is he trying to beat this guy, physically he's trying to beat him mentally by looking at him and taking everything he has and dishing it right back.
When's the last time you saw a slugfest materialize on the ground?
I mean, this is incredible. Both these guys know to hit from all positions. It's just amazing to see how these athletes are going after it.
Henderson doing a good job of slipping that attempt to neutralize his head, and comes back with a knee strike and just raining down the blows now. Up kick from Azaredo. Nice pass there by Henderson. Got his back now.
Oh, good. Oh, great job by Luis. Just get his hips up, make a good exchange position here.
Looking for the backdoor escape here. In fact, he's going to turn it into a top position here. As Henderson now back on the bottom, looking for the Kimura.
He's got the arm. Lost the hip position though, as Luis came around.
What is the key in getting the Kimura from that position, Frank? What do you have to do there?
You need to have half guard or full guard to try to go for because there's a sweep from there as well. But once the top guy gets both of his legs past, the Kimura is gone. You can't finish that shoulder lock, as it were, in that position. Henderson did a great job going to it, but then immediately Luis got his legs out, so it was ill-effective.
Azaredo in Henderson's half guard. Staying busy, however, and again, you see Henderson strike from the bottom. Now, in the spider guard there, there's the beautiful...
Whoa, he's got an arm shell.
What a sequence there. The elevator sweep into an armbar. What another tremendous fight, and we knew it would be just this.
Man, it's amazing. See, Luis is doing a great job of using his striking to set him up to get into his takedowns.
And looking for that elevator sweep again is Henderson from the bottom. And maybe explain the elevator sweep. There's a jumping kick from Azaredo, holding onto the top ropes. Coming down with a series of lefts and rights.
Oh, he's doing a great job passing through.
Oh, holding the ropes again, and that's a no. In fact, I think he's going to be issued a card here. Indeed, a timeout being called. And while we have this timeout, Frank, again, we talked about the elevator sweep. What exactly is an elevator sweep?
What he tries to do, you try to control your opponent's hands by grabbing onto his wrist, as we see Luis getting the yellow card here, which also constitutes 10% of his purse. As we said earlier, you take both your legs in the elevator sweep, you try to basically flip the man over the top of your head and exchange positions with him, where you're on the bottom, you throw him over the top of your head, you roll up on top of him, and you end up on top in a full mount.
A tremendous display here, good sportsmanship as well. As they touch gloves, Azaredo has received 1 yellow card again in Bushido, and in Pride, 3 yellow cards, you're disqualified, but in Bushido, again, for stalling, there's the green card, and you can be issued as many as the ref feels is necessary. I don't think they're going to receive any green cards in this fight, no stalling whatsoever.
No, we're not going to see much of a law in action. We haven't seen a law in action this entire night.
We've just gone past the halfway point of round number 1. Azaredo of the Shooter Box Academy, Henderson representing Team Scandinavia, 2 of the very best lightweights in the world, showcasing their ample skills here at Bushido 10. Nice left hand by Henderson.
You can tell both these guys are starting to tire out a little bit. We see it now. We're starting to see a little back off a little bit. That we're not seeing as many punching as we saw in the beginning.
But as you mentioned in the opening, Frank, conditioning, one of the big keys for the Shooter Box Academy, and a nice low kick there delivered by Azaredo.
He was doing a really, really good job of always stepping forward, Joaquin is, and Azaredo keep him off balance by peppering little kicks, peppering little jabs, always keeping him off balance.
And you know, when you see Azaredo strike, he's actually looking at his opponent, looking at the target. We see some people in MMA, they close their eyes, they raise their chin, but Azaredo's got some precise striking capabilities.
Exactly. Eyes are open, chin is down, he's throwing nice strikes. It's just a testament to the training over there at the Shooter Box, but Joaquin's not doing a bad job himself.
For Henderson. I was just going to say, we're seeing 2 very good strikers here in the lightweight division.
And this is incredible. Nice body shot. Oh, 3, 4, 5 unanswered punches and a kick.
Nice knee up the middle there. Half tie clinch by Azaredo, trying to neutralize Henderson's arms. They're just unloading the leather. We didn't expect anything less when this matchup was announced. Luis Azeredo and Joachim Hansen. The common denominator is Takanori Gomi, who is reigning supreme over the lightweight division. But you know both of these fighters would like another crack at him. Hansen,
oh, no!
With that
Oh, my gosh!
knee strike,
Oh,
it's
my
over.
gosh! Wow. Incredible.
That is the second time in Pride we've seen Hansen stop his opponent in his tracks. In fact, in his debut, he scored the knockout over Masakazu Imanari with just that kind of strike. What a knee knockout recorded here by Joachim Hansen. 7 minutes, 9 seconds via TKO. He records a big win over Luis Azeredo.
Azeredo had his hands down when he bent over and dropped his chin down. His chin came out, caught a knee right to the face. Whenever you drop your hands, when you got a great striker like Joachim Hansen on top, you've got to keep your hands up at all times. He dropped his hands just that one time. Hands come down. This is earlier in the fight. It was a great job by Azeredo to get back in there and to tie it up and keep things going. Great body kick right here. Right there, dropped his hands, took a knee right to the face. That's it.
And Luis Azeredo joins a list that includes Masakazu Imanari and Cal Uno, all victims of that devastating knee strike courtesy of Joachim Hellboy Hansen. And something tells me that Takanori Gomi better be ready. Hansen, one of only 2 fighters to defeat him, and there you saw Tetsuya Kawajiri. In fact, in February of this year, Hansen was disqualified for kicking Kawajiri in the groin in a highly anticipated matchup in the Japanese organization Shudo. The inadvertent kick came at only 8 seconds of the first round. Wouldn't it be nice to bring that bout with Kawajiri and Hansen here to Pride Bushido?
That would be really, really well, because it was an act, it wasn't something that was planned. It kind of happened. Fight was over very quickly. Never really got started. 8 seconds is enough time to see how a fight would actually pan out. That would be a great thing to see here on one of these Bushido cards.
A tremendous start for Luis Azeredo, a game opponent, but in the end he eats that patented left knee strike. And let's take a look at the action one more time, Trig.
Nice body kick. Lucky keeps his hands up, and all of a sudden you see him step in. Nice. Basically was trying to throw a kick to his body, but you know, Azeredo bent over with his hands down and catches a knee instead, right to the face. There it is in slow motion. He was unconscious before he hits the canvas.
Forget about the agony of defeat. Azeredo tastes the agony of the knees here at Bushido 10. Joachim Hansen improves to 3-1 in Pride. And don't forget, as Ujamar Pedrigo of the Shooter Box Academy assisting Azeredo back to the dressing room. The next time Pride Fighting Championships is on pay-per-view as the victorious Joachim Hansen makes his way back to the dressing room. Don't forget, May 5th, the open weight tournament already set to participate. Japanese participants, Hidehiko Yoshida, Tsuyoshi Kosaki. There are rumblings that Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira may be involved.
I tell you what, an easy way to remember when it is that my birthday is May 7th, so it's 2 days before my birthday. So the best way to remember it.
And what a great early birthday present it's going to be. The first round of the Pride open weight tournament. It could have featured Nogueira, Krokop, Hunt, Barnett, who knows? But find out by logging on to PrideFC.com soon for the participants of the Pride Open Weight Tournament beginning May 5th at the Osaka Dome.
Congratulations, great fight, non-stop from the first bell.
Thank you. It was very hard. I was starting to get a little tired in the end, and when I got them with that knee. I thought I had them in the first couple of minutes when I knocked him down, and again got into his guard and started pounding. And he was very strong, and he grabbed my wrists. So, but he was tough. Yeah.
How much damage did you take?
I took a lot in this fight. Yeah, I felt I was rocked a couple of times.
You got gassed a little bit too, yeah?
Yeah.
You guys were going so hard.
Yeah. I was starting to. So I tried at the end, just before the knee, I tried to just come down a little bit and aim at the hits. Yeah.
Let's talk about when he was hitting you from the bottom and he was hitting in your forehead. You were just taking him and giving him this look.
Yeah. He thinks he's crazy. I'll show him crazy.
Did you not feel that?
Of course, but you know, it's the
psychology
game, you know, and he tries to do the eye thing to me, eyeball me. So I took back there. Yeah.
I'm sure this is an easy question to answer. Your next opponent, you'd like it to be?
Gomi, I think. Yeah. Have to train hard. He's good. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Pride fighting as a heavyweight champion. Pride fighting as a middleweight champion. Now, Pride is searching for the world's best absolute fighter. 16 fighters from different weight classes will square off in the world's biggest fighting tournament ever. Finally, one absolute fighting champion will be crowned, and only one organization is big enough to bring it to you. Pride Fighting Championships. Total Elimination. Absolute. Premiering Friday, May 5th on pay-per-view.
Então, vamos ver sábado, né? Domingo que eu vou ao hospital, né? Eu treinei, como eu falei, eu treinei muito pra essa luta, muito mesmo. Não me preparei como me preparei agora. Eu desci de peso de qualidade, eu tô forte, eu vou estar bem na luta. A gente vai ver domingo que vai pro hospital, né?
Ainda não falei isso não. Mas, se ele quer dessa forma, fala pra ele tomar cuidado com o braço, que nem o juiz vai poder separar. Eu vou quebrar o braço dele. Vai ficar ele e o irmão dele com o braço quebrado.
Ah, com certeza. Acho que é uma grande luta pra mim, né? É um atleta top team, né? Então a gente tem que sempre procurar manter a carinha de boxe lá que é o número do mundo, né? Então a gente sempre rola uma rinchinha, né? Quando rola top team de boxe. Vou procurar representar muito bem minha academia, como eu treinei muito. E eu vim aqui para dominar esse peso, eu quero buscar o cinturão nessa categoria.
Ele é um atleta bom, sem dúvida nenhuma. Mas isso não vai fazer que eu respeite de forma nenhuma. Eu vou para ganhar e só penso em ganhar.
Paulo Filho's 27, 5'8", 183 pounds, 4-0 in Pride Fighting Championships. Murillo Ninja, who is 25, 5'11", 183 pounds, 6-5 in Pride. You can cut the tension in this building with a knife, a stare down to end all stare downs. There is no love lost between Shoot-A-Box and Brazilian top team. And what about the metamorphosis of Murillo Ninja, who becomes the first fighter in Pride to now compete in 3 weight classes, making his debut tonight at welterweight.
Incredible. This guy got on a great cardio regime to get his weight down. He looks great. It's the best I've ever seen him as far as shape goes.
One of the most anticipated fights of Bushido 10 is underway. Filho undefeated in his career. Ninja coming off a submission win over Murad Chankayev at Pride 30 in October 2005, and right away they go to the clinch. Greco-Roman clinch here with Ninja along the ropes. Mario Sperry calls Paulo Filho one of the most physically gifted athletes he's ever seen, and that's saying something coming from Brazilian top team.
You can see it. I mean, just look how strong he is. Look how big he is. Look at how he has a hold of the leg right now. He's attacking it, just getting after it, moving his feet. I mean, he did a great job. Oh, great takedown defense on the part of a Ninja. Wow, that was incredible to see. Whoa!
And again, showcasing that power. And you talk about tenacity. Has the legs wrapped up. Ninja trying to slip through here, but a nice grip by Filho. But Ninja busy on the bottom. Arona, while Ninja was coming up, delivering some strikes. Back to close quarters they go. And Trig, a lot of people refer to Filho as Little Arona. I don't know if little is the right word, but now at 183 pounds.
Yeah, not anymore. He's not Little Arona anymore. He's looking at him. He's his own man now. There's no reason to call him Little Arona. He is definitely Filho on his own right. It's just amazing.
Nice knees up the middle there by Ninja.
Both these guys. Oh. Whoa, great headlock throw. Incredible headlock toss.
And he's got him now in the scarf position here, putting the pressure on Murillo Ninja.
Well, the good news is you're not going to get hit from here because he has both hands tied up around the arm. He's in a scarf position.
What's the advantage of being in the scarf position for Filho? What can he do from here?
Control. There's a lot of arm locks he can do. This top hand right here. He can use his legs to tie up this arm if he chooses to. Every now and again against a lesser opponent, he might be able to get a tap out from here by squeezing the head hard enough. He won't get it from Ninja, of course, because we're talking 2 A-level high-class athletes.
And I know for the hardcore fans, some of the questions may seem pedestrian, but the sport of mixed martial arts and pride fighting growing by leaps and bounds week in and week out. And that is why we like to address certain techniques, and we're seeing 2 of their very best in mixed martial arts with Filho and Ninja back up to their feet.
Oh, Ninja looking, you can tell. Even I saw from here, from ringside, saw he wanted to throw a big knee there, and Filio did a great job of moving back and getting off his feet.
Who would you give the advantage to in the stand-up? I mean, Shooter Box, they train all styles, as do Brazilian top team. But here, in this matchup, who would you give the edge to?
Right now, the stand-up is definitely going to Ninja as far as the stand-up goes, but he's not controlling the takedown game, so it makes no difference. He's completely being nullified because he's been taken down 3 times already.
Filio, a black belt in judo, started training at age 5, a former Brazilian judo champion, a black belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu as well, under the late Carlson Gracie, a 3-time BJJ world champion, 5-time Brazilian jiu-jitsu champ. So we are seeing 2 of the very best on the ground as well, and the animosity that flows between these 2 camps. Going back to the 2005 Pride Middleweight Tournament, Ricardo Arona upsetting Pride World Middleweight Champion Vanderlei Silva. Nice kick here by Filio. He's opening up now on Ninja. Ninja turning the tables.
Once again, Filio's doing a great job using his striking ability to get back inside for that strong judo position, that strong Greco-Roman wrestling position, getting him right back down to the ground.
In the finals of the Pride Middleweight Tournament of last year, it was Mauricio Shogun taking care of Ricardo Arona to win the title. And prior to the match, we saw Paulo Filio and Ninja in their respective corners displaying some, let's say, less than flattering gestures. And that's what brought about this fight.
A slip. That wasn't a takedown. That was a slip. But, you know, it looks like Ninja's trying to overextend a little bit and fell down. You know, you got to keep yourself in good position. Always have to remain in balance. Keep yourself rooted, as it were.
And here with the open half guard, Filio should try to improve his position here as, again, Ninja busy from the bottom to try to slip through the grip of Filio. Nice up kick right to the chest and a kick from Filio. And this could spell trouble there, as I thought Filio was setting him up for some knee strikes.
Filio was in a great position for those knee strikes, but opted not to. Now we're back on our feet again. And you got to take advantage of all times, of every position. If you see, even if it's just one punch, one knee, one little thing, you have to take advantage of it at all times.
Ninja misses with that right, and Filio comes in with a single leg takedown and gets the takedown. And really, Filio has been very successful with his takedown attempts so far in this fight.
He's controlling the entire fight, controlling the pace of the fight, controlling everything right now with those takedown attempts. Every time a big right hand comes over or a big left hook, he just ducks underneath it and takes Ninja back down to the ground.
Ninja trying to stave off the striking attack to Filio. And the referee, the senior official here in Pride Fighting Championships, Yuji Shimada, going to restart them in the center of the ring as we head to the midway point of round number 1. Now inside control, controlling the head. But you can see that Ninja tries to explode his hips, tries to gain the sweep here.
He's got to get his hands back inside. He's doing a good job of getting his legs back, but you see how Ninja's elbow, his left elbow's up in the air. You need to get that left elbow between you and your opponent. That's what you have to use that left elbow for. Even though he is kneeing from the bottom, getting some small positions, he's in a really bad spot here. See, now he brings his left elbow in, right to the nice mount. Filio did a great job switching to that mount. Excellent work. He's controlling. Filio's doing a great job of controlling. If you guys look at his hips, how he has them down, low, and tight, he'll be able to stay in this position for a very long time.
Of course, Ninja looking to scramble underneath, but against a fighter with the physical attributes of Paulo Filio, going to be very hard to sweep him from here. Again, just controlling the head. Ninja, though, give him credit, very tenacious on the bottom, trying his best. And there you see Mauricio Shogun and Hujimar Pedrigo in the crowd looking on. Good right hands here by Paulo Filio. The leg is there as well, Trig.
He's doing a great job of controlling the entire fight by controlling the ground. and he's not giving much space. Even when he's punching, he's still very tight. Little peppering shots. Not going to get a knockout from here, but will definitely get to a position where he'll be able to keep scoring points.
3 minutes left in the round. Back into side control. Bafilio doing a good job of controlling on the ground, but not doing much to really improve his positioning or going for a submission. And let's face it, the number one criteria is the effort to finish the fight by knockout or submission. So while Filio is doing a good job of neutralizing Murillo Ninja, he needs to definitely dip into his vast arsenal of submission attempts.
I can see it very, very soon here if he doesn't get a little more active on top.
Guard
nice guard pass. Incredible work. If he doesn't get a little more active here pretty soon, they're going to start standing him back up again, which is to Ninja's benefit.
Ninja's a BJJ brown belt. And right now doing a good job of defending from the bottom in terms of not allowing Filio any submission attempts, but Filio again just smothering him right now, working from side control, some short knees, Ninja kneeing from the bottom. But you're right, I think Yuji Shimada, the official, looking on the action is now it picks up a bit. But if not much more happens here, you're probably right, Trig, they're going to bring them back up to their feet.
You know, all these strikes that Filio's doing, they're really not causing that much damage. So it's just a position change, just enough to keep it on the ground, just enough to keep him in his side control position.
Ninja's right arm is there. And of course, a lot of baiting tricks as well, Trig. And talk a little bit about baiting. What could happen here to maybe give your opponent a false sense of security?
Well, you have this nice tight side control. Give him a couple small, light peppering shots to his face as he starts to push off, and you attack one of his arms for a submission. Or you hit him and force him to go to a different spot. Or in the reverse, you use a submission attempt to make him try to move into some more striking positions.
Final 60 seconds of round one. Paulo Filio controlling the majority of this fight on the ground. But a very frustrating position, I'm sure, as we take a look at Mauricio Shogun, the 2005 middleweight tournament champion, rehabilitating the elbow injury.
Filio's picking up the pace a little bit here, but as you can still see, he's really just trying to keep the position. He's really not looking to knock him out or really looking to hurt him. He's using those more almost as a setup for something else. It's still attacking that cross arm. Got the wrist now.
There he looked to be going for an armbar attempt, but a good job by Ninja to come back to his feet, turning into Filio momentarily. But now, north-south position and some knees from Filio looking to go to Ninja's back, but Ninja doing a good job thus far of fighting off that, but back to the ground they go, and Filio's strength very evident here as he seems to be the more powerful of the two. And let's not forget, Ninja coming down from middleweight, 205 pounds. We saw him in the heavyweight tournament even. An ill-fated move there as he lost to Sergey Aratonov. But Ninja looks good at 183 pounds, but so far has been controlled by Paulo Filio.
Filio's doing a great job just controlling the position, using the takedowns. Get back to some replays here. As you can see, that's the headlock throw in the very beginning of the fight. It was amazing. Just timed it. Great judo throw. And as Ninja started coming back up to his feet, he started striking, and immediately as he felt himself being in danger, Filio, he just took him back down to the ground. Excellent work to control the pace of the fight. That's how you control the fight, is making the man do what you want him to do to get in the spots that you need to be to control his entire body.
Last time we saw Paulo Filio was at Bushido, the tournament in September of 2005. He submitted Ryuta Sakurai via armbar in an alternate bout. As you see Shogun now giving his older brother instructions. So what do you think of the new-looking Murillo Ninja thus far?
Well, he looks good, but he's not doing a very good job of getting off the bottom, as we see here. This is part of the fight game. You've got to be able to get yourself off the bottom, get yourself out of the side control, at least get back to full guard. And here you see him eating some knees from the top as he spun over. Now they're not going to knock him out. He definitely knows how to take a punch and take a hit, but he's losing points the entire time. Immediately got back up. Filio did a great job doing a body lock to a leg trip back down to the ground.
Filio talked about wanting to impose his will in this fight, and thus far, mission accomplished. But now we go into the second round, and again, in Bushido, one 10-minute round, one 5-minute round. Everyone looking forward to this final 5 minutes between two bitter rivals from Brazil, Shooter Box's Murillo Ninja and Brazilian top team's Paulo Filio. And you can look for Ninja to try to keep this one standing, but again, being caught with that right hand as he blocked the takedown, and Filio now unloading on Ninja.
Just coming, just like a little, he's like a little red-nosed pit bull. Just keeps going. Oh, great lift.
And another great takedown by Paulo Filio.
Excellent strength.
Cross-facing, Ninja now goes, puts his right arm behind the head, dropping some short hammer fists as well. But again, it's what he does from this position now that's going to gain the judges' favor.
Well, right now, he's got to be so far ahead in the scorecards. He controlled the entire first round, at least in my opinion, and he's controlling it again with another takedown. He's doing a great job.
Knee strikes from the bottom from Ninja. Nice mount here by Paulo Filio. But give Ninja credit, just constantly scrambling. Now could be going for a
He's in the
Achilles tendon or a heel hook. Another guard pass from Paulo Filio.
This is a classic matchup of the striker versus the grappler. The grappler's controlling because every time you go to throw a good punch, you have to have your feet planted. Makes it easy to take him down to the ground.
Of course, Ninja known for being a very accurate and punishing striker who loves to utilize his Muay Thai techniques, especially his brutal knees and tremendous leg kicks. Unfortunately for him and the shoot-a-box corner, Paulo Filio has stymied any attempt at those techniques whatsoever. Ninja trying to drive some elbows into the side of Filio. Nice job there by Ninja to push Filio away, but again, Filio able to just blanket him one more time.
Yeah, he really is. Just every time he gets any kind of position to be able to move, he just covers him up, smothers him again, like you said, with that blanket, and puts him right back down to the ground.
But from this position here, again, it's all about the hip movement. There is the arm there. Ninja, I'm sure, going to be trying to look for a Kimura, possibly.
Filio's got great hip position, stifles it, gets his hand back on top, and gets out of that. Now, I look to pass out of this half guard as you see him trying to do right now.
The arm is right there. There he's trying to go for an arm lock as Ninja from the bottom. As we have crossed the 2-minute plateau of this, the second round, 3 minutes remaining. Another pass by Filio into side control.
The position that Filio's in, he does have a chance to do a Americana or a Kimura from the top side. He doesn't really look to be trying to finish anything, though. He looks to be very comfortable just sitting in the side, controlling the match. It really only has about 2.5 minutes left as we get to the middle point to try to finish this and get the victory in this fight.
But this isn't sport jiu-jitsu. I mean, points are important. You win favor with the judges, but again, Bushido especially, mandate is on sustained action. Willing to finish your opponent by submission or knockout. And you're right, I mean, it's been a dominating performance from Paulo Filio, but we haven't seen much in the way of submission attempts.
Well, as we go down the criteria, you know, the effort to try to finish your opponent by KO submission, neither one of them has had any shot.
And not necessarily a lot of damage either, though.
Yeah,
it's been all about the takedown.
Yeah, so that really right now, that's the deciding factors, who's been on top longer.
And you can hear Murilo Bustamante imploring him to attempt the Americana because he feels that it's there for the taking. Murilo Bustamante, again, a co-founder of Brazilian Top Team, keeping track of the time. 1.5 minutes remaining. You can hear the shouts of encouragement from the Brazilian Top Team corner right in front of the broadcast area here at the Ariake Coliseum, and Filio continues to just control Ninja on the ground.
You know, and really, you know, he's going to hold on for the win, it looks like here. He's really not going to attempt any submissions, but he did a great job. He controlled the entire fight. You know, I'm a one that's a little bit, I like aggressiveness a little bit more. I prefer to attack a little bit harder, but, you know, if I was the official, I'd probably stand him up right now and see what else happens. But he's doing an excellent job.
Into the final minute of the fight, Trig, is this a letdown for you, or is this just a case of where Paulo Filio, who is undefeated in his MMA career, is showcasing the skills that got him to this point and is proving that he is indeed a force to be reckoned with at welterweight?
This is Paulo's style. This is how he fights. He loves to control the top game, loves to take guys down, loves to be in control of the entire fight, and he obviously, we've seen it, he's done it. This is how he fights, and so you can't take anything away from him.
With the arm trapped right there now from Ninja, isn't there an opportunity for him to put pressure on the arm? Again, Filio controlling from the top, but there are some arm lock attempts that were there for the taking by Ninja, and he didn't seem to go for it.
He really doesn't have the position. He's just too far away, too far gone, and just doesn't. His hips are just too far underneath to be able to get any good position.
10 seconds left in the fight. And a stifling strategy for Paulo Filho looks like it is going to pay off. Fans expected fireworks. Instead, we get a dominant performance from Paulo Filho, smothering Murilo Ninja, and you can see the dejection from the shoot-a-box fighter. Not aesthetically pleasing, but in the same sense, Paulo Filho, like you say, stuck to his tried and true methods, and he may be en route to a victory here as we revisit some of the action.
Yeah, just throwing for the fence at this point, Ninja is, and that's what caused the takedowns to be so easy, because he was did not want to go to the ground because he got held down for so long, that he made it very easy for Paulo Filho to step in and big, nice, powerful lift and take it down to the ground.
Really did a good job of securing the takedowns, and then, as we mentioned, you see there Ninja struggling from the bottom, eating a couple of right hands.
None of those are going to do any kind of damage. They're not going to be able to cut anybody, not going to be able to knock a guy out, but they were backing up and racking up points.
Let's go to the judges to find out who wins the Battle of Brazil.
Judge battle, Paulo. Judge Ohashi, Paulo. Judge Yake, Paulo.
He remains perfect in Pride Fighting Championships at 5-0. A jubilant Paulo Filho scores the unanimous decision win over Murilo Ninja. Final thoughts on the fight, Trick?
Great job by Paulo controlling the takedown every time he thought himself to be in danger.
Good sportsmanship there from Hujimar Pedrigo, sorry.
Who, by the way, is not his coach. He competes for the other. He's a trainer and basically the father figure for the entire Shoot the Box Academy.
And that's why it was nice to see that gesture. Go ahead, sorry.
These guys, these two teams, they rival each other, but there's mutual respect for both guys.
Well, that's what MMA is all about.
Paulo Filho did a great job of controlling the pace. Whenever he was in danger, he took him down. Whenever he thought he had a chance, he used his strikes to get him back down on the ground. His technique and his style, may not be the most exciting thing in the world, but it definitely gets the job done, and he controls and manhandles every single person that he competes against.
Anything that Ninja could have done from that position, I mean, again, give credit to Paulo Filho, a powerhouse, very good at controlling from the top, but Ninja did attempt to try to reverse, did attempt some sweeps, but it was hard to get anything started from where he was throughout the fight.
Yeah, the entire fight he was kind of always on the side, kind of always in a very disadvantage, and he really couldn't get his bottom game working to any positive force.
So is Paulo Filho a candidate for the welterweight tournament coming up June the 4th?
His style and his technique could be a great, if he makes it all the way through to the third round where you got to fight 2 times in one night, his style and his technique, you see he doesn't get hit very much, he doesn't get beat up and battered. Paulo Filho would do a great job in that welterweight tournament.
Dan Henderson, the current Pride welterweight world champion, but 16 of the world's best welterweights will begin the quest to win the welterweight tournament title June the 4th. It's Bushido Survival 06 and a victorious Brazilian top team making their way back to the dressing room as Paulo Filho leads the way, a perfect 5-0 in Pride.
I really do like Paulo's style. I really like how he's aggressive about getting the takedown. Of course, I'd like to see a guy throw some more strikes when he's on his feet, but he doesn't have to because that's how he wins his fights, and he wins them decisively.
Pride Fighting as a heavyweight champion. Pride Fighting as a middleweight champion. Now, Pride is searching for the world's best absolute fighter. 16 fighters from different weight classes will square off in the world's biggest fighting tournament ever. Finally, one absolute fighting champion will be crowned, and only one organization is big enough to bring it to you. Pride Fighting Championships. Total Elimination. Absolute. Premiering Friday, May 5th on pay-per-view.
Akihiro Gono, known as the Big Mouth here in Japan, a member of Team Grabaka, training with the only Japanese Abu Dhabi submission champion Sine Kukta and the rest of Team Grabaka. He beat highly regarded Brazilian Daniel Kazuo by decision at Bushido the tournament before being KO'd by eventual tournament champion Dan Henderson. Another big win in his career came at Bushido 7 when he beat Crossley Gracie, one of the heralded Gracie members, via decision. He calls that one of the biggest wins in his career. And in his debut at Bushido 2, he was TKO'd by Mauricio Shogun. That's his only setback in his last 15 fights. Really coming into his own here in his native country. When he began his career, he won the majority of his fights by submission, but has developed into a very solid striker. The current All-Japan heavyweight kickboxing champion, Akihiro Gono, looking to be victorious at Bushido 10.
これより第7試合を行います。青コーナー180センチ 82.8 キロ Kim Day1.
Day1 Kim is 26, 5'11", 183 pounds, making his debut in Bushido.
176センチ 82.7 キロ Gono Akihiro.
Akihiro Gono's 31, 5'9", 183 pounds, 2-2 in pride. And there you see Sine Kukta in his corner, helping him take off his garb and preparing for this tilt at Bushido 10. His trainer Taishiro developed 2 new counter punches for him for this fight. One known as the counter jab Doronpa, and then something called the prairie dog punch. Frank, what's up with the prairie dog punch?
I don't know, but I just love the name of it. You know, going to school at the University of Oklahoma, there's a lot of prairie dogs running around, so I'm very interested to see how this one works out.
Well, he says when throwing the punch, his body position makes him look like a prairie dog. When his head pokes out of his hole to look around, he quipped that if he doesn't defend properly after throwing it, it's possible that the prairie dog will get his head torn off by the eagle, a.k.a. his opponent. Always a tremendous talker, Akihiro Gono, and he's looking here to spoil Day1 Kim's debut in Bushido. And Kim, a Korean national judo champion as a junior in high school, so he's comfortable within the clinch as well.
It's great to see how fast mixed martial arts is growing, because there's so many great competitors throughout the entire world, and now Korea is on the map, as we saw earlier with Dennis Kang and tonight with Kim Day1.
Kim now pressuring the fight and taking down Akihiro Gono into side control early.
Nice aggressiveness, great hip control, right to that leg sweep. Incredible job, right to pass the guard.
Good crossface as well, delivering a knee. So Kim looking to, of course, be victorious here in his debut, doing a good job in the early going in the first minute here, really pressuring the fight to Akihiro Gono.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you, Mar, I think a lot of guys that do a little bit more aggressive would overwhelm their opponents if they would start out being very aggressive like we just saw Kim doing.
Nice kick, too, from the standing position. They're trying to pass the guard with some strikes. Gono now just content to weather this storm in hopes that the referee may ask for the restart.
Nice accurate punching on top.
Kim acquitting himself well here in the early going from within the open guard now, posturing up and delivering those lefts and rights.
Now you see when you sit up like this, for those of you that knew, when you sitting up in a guy's guard like this, he can't submit you in any way if you keep your head far away. Now you see, Gono's trying to tie him up so you can't get hit. This is the perfect position to be in Kim's position, if you're going to be on top, raining down, blows on somebody.
And Gono wing blocking there, also known as answering the phone. And if this keeps up, he may want to dial 911, because right now it's Kim with a great start to his debut in Pride Bushido. So Gono right now in that corner, that's also proving to be his nemesis right now. It's the fact that he's run out of real estate.
Yeah, he's got nowhere to go. He's not using his legs to get out anymore. He needs to start using his legs to push off, scissor kick his legs out of there to get a little bit more space. He's just, right now he's blocking. He's doing a great job in defense, but he's just going to sit here and take this punishment until he makes up his mind to get off the bottom. And honestly, I got to say that, really, Kim's punches really aren't doing that much damage because he is blocking so well. But understand, he's
the
getting
judge's eyes.
points.
Yeah,
exactly.
And right now, from the position that Gono's in, he should push out there, try to spin away from the corner area. But Kim doing a good job of just keeping him in that corner and continuing to work those strikes.
Now, you do notice that anytime that Gono gets hit, he immediately uses his legs to change. That's immediately what he does. So he's content to sit there. He's content to block. Now all of a sudden he'll push off. And there's a, Kim has a chance at a calf crusher right here if he wanted to, an Achilles lock, if you will. But he's just content to try to punch past by the guard.
And we talk about the risks involved when going for leg locks, but again, sometimes, especially here in Bushido, the higher the risk, the higher the reward as well.
Exactly. You throw that big haymaker punch trying to get a KO or submission, you take the risk of missing.
And finally,
you get a break and is going to try to bring it back up to the feet. You take a chance in missing, but you also take a chance of knocking your opponent out and scoring a lot of points in the judge's mind.
Gono missing wildly with that kick. And Daewon Kim definitely getting Akihiro Gono's attention here in the early going as he now pushes the pace one more time.
Oh, great job by Gono stepping in for that left hook.
Good takedown defense here by Akihiro Gono. But wow! In the end, persistence pays off. Beautiful takedown by Kim.
Incredible foot sweep, amazingly well timed. That shows his judo background. That was a great foot sweep. Right down. Once again, he's on the ground controlling. End up in half guard, better position than full guard, but not as good as being all the way by it.
Good job controlling the head with the crossface and even some short hammer strikes here as these caught in the half guard. Goes to the body there.
Kim needs to keep his knees in tight, keep his hips in tight, and keep that guard pass, and of course Gono needs to try to get as much space as he can with his elbows, try to push off and get his legs back into full guard.
Another nice strike there by Kim, and with the open half guard, he can. He's trying to improve the position here, but as we reach the halfway point, there is Dong-Sik Yoon of Korea watching his countryman make his debut.
Great sweep. Nice job by Gono. Just waited. Kim made a mistake and brought his knee up, and Gono came in for a nice sweep change position.
And Kim now in the utilizing the half butterfly guard. Explain what the advantages are being in the butterfly guard.
Okay, the butterfly guard is basically you have your foot inside your opponent's groin, and what you do is it's easier to push. Anytime that he tries to punch you can use your feet to push him away so he can't hit you. Knock him off balance with your feet at all times, and it makes it very easy to sit up to get a change in position. You can sit up for a single leg or a double leg like we like to do in wrestling, and get that sweep, get that change in position.
And it also can lead to that elevator sweep. And right now they're going to doing a good job of standing up here and avoiding a sweep by Kim. A nice kick to the head there by Gono. And I think Gono probably wants this one to become a stand-up war, although there's a Superman punch and into the half guard again of Kim.
He actually has a position for a submission right now with that tie-up bicep crusher, because that arm is across Kim's body. If he sinks it in, if he gets his right elbow to the ground and sinks it in behind his head, he can finish it off. Kim slid his arm out. Good job.
And a hammer fist by Gono doing some damage to Kim. Now it's Gono's turn to do some crossface. Trying to improve his position here. Kim on the bottom trying to neutralize Gono's arms.
And the general theory is, and this is a generalization, the guy on the bottom needs space to move.
That arm there.
He's getting ready to attack. If he brings his hips up, Gono to swing around for an arm bar.
We'll go for the arm bar, an Americana attempt as well.
Arm triangle. He's got,
there's a variety of submissions there, and now he wants to control and trap that left arm. And
he's doing a good job. He's got the wrist tied down. It's nice and tight to the body. He can slide this out.
And now just raining in some right hands right on Kim's face as Kim eats some blows there as we have 3 minutes remaining in this first round.
Like I was trying to say earlier, the position here, the guy on the bottom needs to get space so he can move and get out of the bottom. Guy on top wants to create no space so he can hold his opponent down. So it's this back and forth battle of space and no space trying to move around.
And the onus, of course, is on Gono to try to improve that position, to pass this half guard into side control. And there you see him
he's got it. He's got
to do it. Going for the Kimura here now.
He's got to grab the wrist. He's got to grab a hold of that wrist, slide it down.
And he looks to the referee. He's neutralized that right arm, but instead lets it go now. Nice knee right to the face.
Good job. Did a great job earlier in this fight, weathering the storm from Kim, and now the tides have turned tremendously.
If he takes his right arm, slips it out like right there, and then trap there he goes now.
Good. Now switching the Americano. Oh, good job by Kim, swinging out.
Good job by Kim to defend that submission attempt, but there's the other arm now. From Mount, now he gets the back, and this could spell trouble. A possible rear naked choke attempt here, just dropping down some big-time hammer fists. It looks like he wants to maneuver into another armbar attempt.
He's got that wrist tied up. He can swing to an armbar if he chooses. But if he pushes hips in, he can get Kim flat.
The arm is there. There's no doubt about it, but Gono now just content to controlling Kim with the mount.
He's slowly sliding up his knees, Gono. You see him, he's sliding his knees up,
Knee to the head. Are you surprised that he's not going for that left arm, though, Trig? It's right there for the take. And finally, goes for the armbar, textbook submission. It's over.
You know what, Mauro? I'm not surprised that he went for that armbar at all. Perfect time. He did a great job, waited on it. Like, I agree with you. I think he could have went to it a lot sooner than he did.
And with the armbar submission at 9 minutes of the opening round, Akihiro Gono improves to 3-2, ruining the debut of Daewon Kim, who loses his first appearance in Bushido. Talk about being methodical. Well, Akihiro Gono took his time, but in the end, submits Daewon Kim. And the big-time baseball fan, Akihiro Gono, even went to the fabled Yankee Stadium to see his idol Hideki Matsui last year. He talked about the Japanese-South Korean rivalry in the World Baseball Classic, in which Korea took 2 of 3 games away from Japan. Japan, of course, winning the title. So Gono now defeats South Korea as well here in mixed martial arts.
But this is a great job. He punches. He's sliding his knee up. You see him slide his knee through for a headshot. Great position. There, immediately as soon as you see Kim start to push away, spins over to that classic armbar. And that is one of the most known setups you can possibly do to this armbar. It was a great job on Gono's part. You get another look at it again here. Knees are tight, leaning back, hips are coming up, submission.
And what's the key to ensuring that you do get the submission when attempting an arm bar or any kind of joint lock, Frank?
You have to keep, well, depending on the joint lock, but you got to keep and for the arm bar's position, you have to keep the head caught. You've got to be able to keep the body, your knees tight, and make sure that his elbow is above your belly button so you can get the full submission.
And of course, it's about not leaving any gaps, and it was sunk in nice and tight. And Daewon Kim, a very dejected fighter, making his way back to the locker room. As Akihiro Gono addresses the crowd here at the Ariake Coliseum. And you can hear the crowd chuckling and laughing. He loves that microphone, Trig, almost as much as you do, my friend.
We're waiting on the translation here from our translator to see what he's saying. It usually involves him talking about the ring car girls. And
yes, we heard that at the press conference, knowing that this would be the final show for this current batch of ring beauties. So he talks the talk and he is walking the walk is what he's really, to generalize what he's saying here, Trig. Kind of like someone I know.
I don't know who that would be.
Twinkle Toes.
Somebody with a big mouth that likes to talk a lot. That would be like maybe my dad, maybe? My brothers, are you talking about?
Akihiro Gono indeed always enjoys himself, and he also gets it, as you do, my friend, in your career, that it's about the sport, it's about the competition, but it's also about entertaining the crowd, and Akihiro Gono does so with a textbook armbar submission over Daewon Kim.
He's saying, the last bit that he said there is that he wasn't on the main part of the card, but he said that he wants to be the main event. He wants to be part of the main part of the card on the top end guys, and he says to keep training as hard as he can
and he
to make it so.
Kind of did some trash talking there at the expense of his compatriot Yuki Kondo. He says it's not going to be Kondo, it's not going to be his fellow Japanese fighters, it's going to be him the big mouth Akihiro Gono. Now we'll see if he's able to indeed elevate himself to that superstar status, on his way to doing so with a great win over Daewon Kim. And again, a reminder that for more information on the likes of Akihiro Gono, the big mouth, and also to see the latest footage from some of your favorite fights and to purchase your Pride DVDs, log on to pridefc.com.
Pride fighting as a heavyweight champion. Pride fighting as a middleweight champion. Now, Pride is searching for the world's best absolute fighter. 16 fighters from different weight classes will square off in the world's biggest fighting tournament ever. Finally, one absolute fighting champion will be crowned, and only one organization is big enough to bring it to you. Pride Fighting Championships. Total Elimination Absolute. Premiering Friday, May 5th on pay-per-view.
Well, I can say no. So if Pride call me and say, Giant, you want to step, you're going to be somebody, I'll fight, I'll step there, I'll try. Because I'll feel I have something to prove. Because if I cannot win, or if I got a good fight, I'm supposed to do that, but I'm keep trying. So I feel I have something to show. I don't know how, but I will.
だんだん強くなってるっていうのも感じますし、やっぱり今度は負けないぞっていう気持ちもすごい感じますので、今までの以上のジャイアントシルバー選手で来ると思います。
And this time is going to be a little hard to me because Minoa is a little guy, but he's very good to break fighters' foot, and my foot is special to me because I don't think so. I don't think if Minoa break my foot now, I don't think if I can fight anymore because I'm so I'm not young, and he gonna break my foot. It's gonna be hard to me. My life is gonna be a little more hard. To come back home, everything is gonna be more hard to me because my weight is. But I don't care. I'll try to do that. It's all right.
体が大きいという武器を使うけど、僕も体が小さいという武器を使って相手を倒したいと思います。
First time they call me to fight Hit Huri, and till now I never say no. They call me, I say yes. If they gonna call me to fight Mirko Krokop or Fero or the great fighter they have, I'll do that. I'll try to do my best. I'm not scared to step in the ring. I'm not scared if somebody kick my ass or if I kick somebody's ass. It doesn't matter to me. I'll try to do my best.
試合を行います。
And now for the ninth match.
青コーナーよりジャイアントシューバー選手の入場です。
Talk about casting an imposing shadow. The biggest fighter in mixed martial arts, Giant Silva from Brazil.
I gotta tell you what, Mauro, I think his foot, the shoe he wears, the sock he has on, I could cut all that up and make a suit for myself.
Well, I told him we could make some dollars together. I was going to take one of his shoes, and back where I'm from in British Columbia, there's such a thing as Sasquatch or Bigfoot. And I was going to, plant those shoes, make footprints all over, take pictures, send it to one of the tabloids, and maybe make a few bucks. But Giant Silva definitely has what it takes to be a dominating force, although in mixed martial arts has not been that successful. But when you're built like he is, when you have his physical attributes, you're going to get more than one opportunity. And here in Japan, he is, a cult figure, if you will.
Because he fights hard, he comes hard, he tries to do his best every single time. That's why they always bring him back.
In his last fight, he was stopped by James Thompson via first-round TKO at Shockwave 2005, but you have to hand it to him. At his advanced age when it comes to athletics, he was a member of the Brazilian national basketball team at the '92 Olympics in Barcelona, has been working on his boxing skills, not a crisp puncher, but needless to say, has a huge reach. Giant Silva is back and competing at Bushido 10.
これより第9試合を行います。青コーナー230センチ180キロ Giant Silva!
Giant Silva is 42-7-2, 385 pounds, 1 and 5 in Pride Fighting Championships.
赤コーナー175センチ87.4キロミノワ・イクイサ
Ikuisa the Punk Minowa, 35'9", 181 pounds, 6 and 5 in Pride. A very quirky personality, Trig, but one of the most popular fighters in Pride Fighting Championships. He sent the crowd here at the Ariake Coliseum in Tokyo in a frenzy with his very energetic entrance. And they're just being informed that 4-point attacks are going to be allowed in this matchup. We don't have to tell you why that would be even a situation. There is a vast size difference in this fight, but Ikuisa Minowa loves challenges. Picture says 1,000 words, Trig.
Every time the camera angles behind Giant Silva, you lose the Punk entirely.
Minowa, known for his unorthodox training techniques. In fact, preparing for this fight, he teamed up with Sentoryu and one of his other fight friends, Namakawa, and had Namakawa ride Sentoryu's shoulders while holding 2 bamboo sticks to simulate what it would be like to fight Giant Silva.
And it was pretty close, actually. That was a pretty good altercation, how it should be.
Forward roll by Minowa right into the single leg, and he takes Giant Silva down. A dash of the histrionics, but it worked, Trig.
It's a great job. Incredible. Athletic.
Silva was looking for the Kimura there.
He's got to be careful here, Silva does, because the Punk's got a great heel hook, a great ankle lock from this position.
Silva's only victory was via Kimura against Minowa's sparring partner, Sentoryu, and listen to the crowd chant Minowa's name. Silva working from the bottom against Ikuisa the Punk Minowa. And he has worked on escapes from the bottom, training in New Jersey. His corner exhorting him here, Trig.
It's just like in boxing. You can soften a guy up if you keep getting him some knee strikes.
And now he's going left and right with the knees to the head and to the body. And it's over. Ikuisa the Punk Minowa dispatches Giant Silva at 2 minutes 23 seconds of the opening round.
It was almost like Giant Silva was never really in the fight. I'm not exactly sure as to why they stopped. I don't see any blood or any reason why they would have stopped it. I'm getting a report now. I guess from our camera angle we couldn't really see it, Mauro, but I guess he tapped out due to the knee to the face.
Yeah, was eating those vicious knee strikes from Minowa and signaled that he had had enough. Minowa improves to 7 and 5, and for Ikuisa the Punk Minowa faces a bit of a conundrum, Trig.
Yeah.
Does he go into the Bushido welterweight tournament, or does he now want to be a part of the openweight tournament? I mean, this, in a sense, was a precursor to what we could see in an openweight
with his leg attacks.
And Minowa now leading the audience in his trademark cheers. A definite fan favorite here in Pride Fighting Championships. One of the aces of the Bushido series. Let's just soak this in. Yeah, I think he's got a little charisma. Trig, what do you think?
I think it's in there someplace, being hidden. Great roll, right to the leg. Perfect timing, great distance. Knew exactly where he needed to be to make this work for himself. Got right in, basically got all the way by the guard. We see here that the knee strikes to the body, soften it up Giant Silva, and then gets a couple to his head. That's the end of the fight.
Minowa likes the Japanese comic book character Kinnikuman, and he saw Silva as the nefarious character from that comic book Sunshine, the 10-foot demon. Well, the sun has set on Giant Silva tonight, courtesy of the punk, Mr. Heaven, Ikuhisa Minowa, entertaining the crowd here at the Ariake Coliseum as only he can do.
I love the punk style. I love the way he fights. I love his brashness. I love his charisma. This guy is the total package of what Pride Fighting Championship really is. He knows how to fight. He knows how to entertain the crowd. He knows how to get people behind him. And whether you like him or not, for the way he acts, for the way he dresses, everybody watches every fight. That's what you need to have happen.
Pride Fighting as a heavyweight champion. Pride Fighting as a middleweight champion. Now, Pride is searching for the world's best absolute fighter. 16 fighters from different weight classes will square off in the world's biggest fighting tournament ever. Finally, one absolute fighting champion will be crowned, and only one organization is big enough to bring it to you. Pride Fighting Championships. Total Elimination. Absolute. Premiering Friday, May 5th on pay-per-view.
The guy's got goals, but he's not going to achieve them this weekend. It's always good to motivate yourself in one way or another, but for me, it's just another fight, and I am looking to knock him out. And anything can happen in a fight. So, but I'm pretty much ready to go. I feel good, healthy, so it'd be pretty tough for him to do what he'd like to do.
それはやってみなきゃ分からないですからね。やっぱりもう勝負の世界なんで、仮にどっちが上だろうが下だろうが、やっぱりもう1秒、ね、1分1秒一瞬で勝負は決まってしまうんで、もうやっぱり勝算は五分五分だと思ってます。
Any fight's a concern of mine. I mean, with anybody, anything can happen in a fight. I'm not overlooking him at all. I think he's a very tough Japanese fighter. But again, I put myself up at a higher level than he does, and I think most of the fans do too. And I'm expected to win. I expect myself to win, but I by no means overlooked him at all. And I trained the best I could in the last 3.
Time for one of the two co-headlining bouts of Bushido 10. It features that man, the Pride World Welterweight Champion, Pride Welterweight Tournament Champion, recording a unanimous decision victory over Murilo Bustamante at Shockwave 2005 to win the Bushido Welterweight Tournament. That was a rematch of a fight from Final Conflict 2003 where he KO'd Bustamante, and also in the tournament he scored first-round KOs over Ryo Chonan and Akihiro Gono. He is known as the American athlete in Japan. He is Dan Henderson. Henderson getting set to square off with Kazuo Misaki in a non-title affair.
これより第10試合を行います。青コーナー178センチ、82.6 キロ。Misaki
Kazuo the Hitman Misaki is 29, 5'11", 181 pounds, 1-1 in Pride Fighting.
赤コーナー180センチ、82.9 キロ。プライドグランプリ2005ウェルター級トーナメント王者、プライドウェルター級チャンピオン、
Pride World Welterweight Champion Dan Henderson's 35'6", 183 pounds, 10-4 in Bushido. One of his victims in the welterweight tournament, Ryo Chonan, looking on. So, Trig, you know Henderson very well. We can tell you he's never been knocked out in his career, but he does have a habit of looking down when throwing punches. Meanwhile, Misaki possesses a good left jab, but sometimes its sloppy delivery leaves him open for a counter overhand right. And speaking of rights,
that counter overhand right will definitely be thrown at some point tonight. Dan is just, it's his #1 move, it's his #1 punch. He's definitely going to throw it. I give it 15 seconds from now.
Misaki doesn't even want to touch gloves. He's here to do business, wanting to knock off the current Pride World Welterweight Champion in a non-title affair. Misaki very fast, likes to strike, trying to confuse his opponents. He feels that he's a better striker than Henderson. Henderson says, that's fine. He may be able to say that he's a better striker, but he's not as powerful.
Dan's trying to make me look bad, hasn't thrown that right hand yet. Typically steps right out with it, throws it immediately off the beginning of the fight. A little more patient. There it is. Dan's a little more patient than we've seen him in the past. I like this. He's not being as aggressive, picking his shots a little bit better.
Of course, it's the shot you don't see that causes the most damage, and Henderson does like to come in at angles, and that right hand has definitely been his calling card in his mixed martial arts career. Nice outside kick, and Misaki trying to snag the leg, but there's that wrestling background, the Greco-Roman champion.
There's a nice wizard that he used. We call it a wizard in wrestling that he used to throw Misaki off of him.
The two-time U.S. Olympic wrestler Henderson swinging for the fences now against Misaki. Misses with the
great back fist.
Beautiful spinning back fist. Looking for the tie clinch, but Misaki again hard to control here, now trying to cinch it in. Misaki doing what he needs to do here, Trig.
He's
stick
moving.
And move.
Exactly. Well, that's exactly what I was just going to say. Sticking the movement, staying out of range, moving side to side. Whenever he gets attacked, he's not staying there trying to out-muscle Dan. He's moving left and right to get out of Dan's power range. A lot of head movement, a lot of hip movement, kind of keeping Dan at bay a little bit.
Now Henderson again trying to press the action again with that spinning back fist. So adding something new to his repertoire as the Team Quest stalwart.
Very patient, keeping his hands up. Quick motion. Misaki's doing a good job moving, so he keeps moving his feet side to side, using good footwork.
Misaki involved in a very entertaining battle in his Pride debut against Jorge Macaco Patino. At Bushido 3, he won that entertaining affair that went the distance. Now it's knocked to the ground by Henderson, catches his leg, however, Henderson gives up his back. Trying to turn into him, and now maybe going for a guillotine. No, good job by Misaki.
Wow, good job, excellent work. Control Dan's hip, you can see he's holding tight, he's squeezing around his body, control Dan. Not gonna let him get any hip motion, any hip space. I look at Misaki right now, getting ready to pass this half guard.
Some shoulder strikes there delivered by Misaki in close as Henderson neutralizing the arms, now delivering some elbows from the bottom. Nice pass there by Misaki into side control.
Dan's in a good position here to throw some knees to Misaki's head, even though he's on the ground. And Misaki's in a good position to get all the way by and attack. If he can get his right arm out, he can attack Dan's left hand.
Misaki feels he's definitely better from the top position, and right now in control of this fight. Just past the 4-minute mark of the opening round, raining in some right knees, much to the delight of the partisan crowd here at Ariake Coliseum. It's almost like a crucifix here type position
Yeah, a little bit, kind of reverse crucifix, and basically just because he's using a lot of hip control, a lot of hard control, trying to keep his hips in, not giving Dan any space to maneuver. He really could pull his right hand out, as he just does now, but he didn't really need to. He was just trying to hold Dan in that spot.
So from the side position here, Trig, Misaki definitely has a lot of options at his disposal, but Henderson busy from the bottom. What do you think Misaki should do? Twist his hips into north-south position here?
No, want to stay at the north-south with Dan because he's so strong. He'll be able to push it right off. He needs to stay kind of in this position, but he has to get his head free. So Dan's holding down his head with Dan's right arm. Oh, excuse me, his left arm holding Misaki's head down. He needs to get his head free, Misaki does, to be able to start attacking that same arm that Dan's holding down.
Now the knee on belly position momentarily there by Misaki. Halfway through round number 1, and Misaki doing an adequate job here of controlling the Pride World Welterweight Champion in a non-title bout. Henderson trying to maneuver underneath with his arms there, trying to deliver some knees from the bottom, and here you can just almost sense it that he's going to try to explode his hips anytime.
Needs to get that up. There he goes. Needs to get that elbow inside, start pushing on that hip. There it is. Up, stall, up tall, up tall. Oh, nice.
And Misaki went for the guillotine, but slipped. And Henderson now on his feet in the crowd here anticipating some stand-up, as both fighters proclaimed they wanted to engage in a stand-up war. And of course, in Henderson's stand-up arsenal is that devastating right hand. And Misaki said he's watched video of Henderson's right hand and says he's devised a strategy to counter it. Henderson with some uppercuts, going the back fist route one more time there, missing.
You know, I haven't seen that miss a punch, throw a back fist immediately after since my training partner Vladimir Menashenko did it one time in a fight and literally knocked the guy unconscious with the back fist. It could happen very quickly because Dan is so powerful, bringing his arms back to center. Dan seems to be a little surprised by this guy. I think he's trying to take this a little lackluster when he first came out. Didn't seem to be really warmed up for this fight. And he's starting to pay for a little bit. And of course, he's being surprised by so much motion and the lack of respect on Misaki's side. He really doesn't act like he's respecting Henderson's
No, definitely. And we saw that from the outset when he refused to touch gloves. He's here to deliver a message to the Pride World Welterweight Champion. Misaki representing, of course, Team Grabaka. Sane Kukta in the corner, the founder of Team Grabaka, Akihiro Gono. You can see him in the crowd watching intently as his teammate is engaged in this battle with Henderson. 3 minutes now left in the first round, and Henderson now trying to pick up the pace. Coming forward with some strikes. There's a nice left hand that momentarily knocks Misaki off balance.
He barely even hit him with the punch. He basically threw him off balance with the push. You know, his bicep is throwing him down. Dan is just so strong inside there. It's amazing.
Good left hook by Henderson, measuring him up for what appears to be an uppercut.
There it is!
That right hand! There it is indeed!
Oh, he's still in it. Oh my God!
Misaki surviving Henderson's patented right hand that sent him crashing to the canvas, and now Misaki going for a footlock.
Yeah, he's got a footlock. Dan's got to get his feet out of there. He definitely needs to start kicking away.
Of course, Henderson is probably asking himself, how did he survive that?
Dan has a footlock on top too. If he could buckle down on it, he can get this ankle lock right here. His hands are on it. It's right there in front of him. He's so busy worrying about trying to kick him in the face. He's missing the submission that's right in front of him.
Well, it's now evident that Misaki can take a punch. He survived one of the best right hands in MMA. And now as he regained his faculties, he takes control again, pushing himself forward with the reversal. And now Henderson in the half butterfly guard. I think Misaki is definitely surprising the Pride World Welterweight Champion in the first round.
I think he's doing an incredible job. He's definitely keeping the pace on, moving forward the entire time, controlling Dan's hips, and really not giving him an inch of space to do anything.
A minute and a half remaining in the first round. Some body shots delivered by Misaki from Henderson's closed guard. Now Henderson looking for a high guard there, but being frustrated by the perpetual motion of Kazuo, the hitman Misaki. Told us in the interview he wants to prove to everybody that the gap between he and Henderson is not that big, and so far so good.
He really is doing a good job of maintaining this entire fight. I'm completely surprised by this.
We're into the final minute of the opening round. Let's see what both Misaki and Henderson could do from here. Henderson looking to maneuver for perhaps a Kimura. I think Misaki evident, cognizant of that. And now the fans here beginning to chant Misaki's name.
Dan's got a couple submission things right here he could do. He brings both his legs up. Great job of Misaki staying busy on top, always moving, looking to pass.
You know, Henderson has been training more in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Coming in, known for his tremendous takedown defense. Someone who's hard to sweep. But Misaki pulling off what has got to be a bit of a surprise here in the opening round into the final 10 seconds. And so far, the Team Grabaka stablemate, Kazuo the Hitman Misaki, getting the better of the Pride World Welterweight Champion Dan Henderson as the bell goes to end round number 1.
I'm interested to see what's going to happen between rounds here. I'm actually trying to get a peek at Dan's corner. You know, I know most of these guys are all friends of mine, so I'm trying to see what they're telling him and what's the change is going to be between this first round and the second round. I think maybe Dan just was taking it too lightly. Hopefully, get him pumped up to have him come back in.
If you were in his corner, what would those changes be? What would you instruct him to do differently?
Tell him to stop swinging for the fences because Misaki's trying to take him down every time. He's spending too much time spinning. Every time, as we can see here by the replay, that he gives Misaki any position where he can get a hold of his hips, he controls him for the rest of the fight. He needs not to be in this position again. He's got to step at the pace, start doing a couple more jabs, a couple small leg kicks, maybe take Misaki down to the ground and end up on top of him. On the other hand, if I'm in Misaki's corner, I'm telling him to keep doing what he's doing. He's a lot of action, a lot of forward motion. He's controlling the champ. He's doing a great job.
Rocked by that right hand and yet surviving.
I thought the fight was over at this point, and obviously I was wrong.
And a good call by the referee not to stop the fight there.
Continues in. Obviously, he has a better vantage point. He's standing right over both fighters and concerned with their safety at all times. And
obviously,
he saw that this is ready to go.
On his face that he wasn't out. We've seen flash knockouts in mixed martial arts before, but Dan Henderson in a tough battle here with Kazuo Misaki. He appears to be breathing laboriously as well in the corner there. Do you think, would conditioning be at all a factor here? I know that Dan Henderson has had some problems in the past, not with his conditioning because he can go all night, but it seems that at some fights, I don't know what it is about the Japan Air. What do you think it would be?
Stop. It's his conditioning. Just stop being nice. Okay, sometimes he comes in and he goes so hard for so long, sometimes his conditioning can't keep up with him. He goes 100 miles an hour from the opening bell.
Trying to give the Pride World Welterweight Champion the benefit of the doubt, but here we go, the last 5 minutes of this Bushido matchup.
Well, the good news is you live in Vancouver, so he won't come to your house. I live about an hour from, so he'll come right to my house and make fun of me.
Now Henderson setting Misaki up, and again, he's wanting to stay in the pocket. Misaki just trying to take him off his game. And you would think that with all of the movement from Misaki that is expending some unnecessary energy as well as this fight materializes. He gets caught with that left hook. Nice uppercut by Henderson.
Henderson did a good job mixing up his punches, not just throwing straight rights, definitely the uppercuts and the hooks, getting other things to sneak through. Like to see Dan move his head a little bit more. Misaki's doing a good job of movement, side-to-side angle. Dan's kind of plotting, just coming forward, always looking for that one big punch.
And to be fair to the champion, Henderson has scored with the better strikes, although Misaki in that opening round controlled the action on the ground.
Yeah, Dan actually, we know who controlled. We go through the list. Effort to finish by KO or submission, that was definitely won by Dan that first round.
The only submission attempt really was the guillotine by Misaki that, due to the perspiration, was ill-fated.
That and the fact that Dan really doesn't have a neck. It's kind of hard to submit him if he doesn't have one.
Now they're just pawing at each other. Both come in now, and Henderson with that left hook. Now he tries to come in. He's missing with those shots. Misaki doing a good job thus far of avoiding the full brunt of this Henderson onslaught, but now Henderson closes the gap.
Dan got hit there. I think he's a little wobbly there for a second.
Staggered momentarily by Misaki. 3 minutes left, and this is the final round. Coming into this matchup, Henderson felt that his toughest fight was his Pride debut against Vanderlei Silva at Pride 12. Something tells me that he may rank this one right up there as well, although there's plenty of time for him to unload and assert himself as the Pride World Welterweight Champion, but Misaki doing a great job and coming in with the right strategy against the champ.
You know, I was talking about this earlier with a couple different fights, how the fighter needs to use in and out motion and get to his angles. That's what Misaki's doing to Henderson. He keeps moving, light on his feet, keeps peppering Dan with a couple of punches, a couple of shots.
Scores with the jab.
Wow. Every punch, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't have to be a knockout punch. You could use the sweet science of boxing here a little bit.
Another great jab
good
there from Henderson.
You know, start using some jabs, start using some peppering shots to set yourself up for that big haymaker, for that big knockout punch.
Would you encourage Henderson, Harrod, to set up the jab and maybe go for a takedown, or does he feel that he has to rely on that stand-up power? Because when it comes to striking tonight, Misaki is giving him all he can handle as well.
You know, I think, Dan, if he would use the jab just a little bit more, back it up with a 3-4 punch combination right after it, then he'd have a lot more success right now and probably would finish this fight relatively quickly. Needs to punch and bunches to make this thing happen.
90 seconds remaining in this battle between Kazuo Misaki and Dan Henderson. And Henderson again wanting to load up with that home run shot of his right hand. Misses a couple of times. Now connects with an overhand right. Misaki doing a good job of avoiding its full effect. And now Misaki comes back with a kick. And that scores.
This fight is really close to call right now because you have to go by effort to finish and by KO submission. It goes to Dan because every time he connected, it's to knock him out. Damage the opponent definitely is leading by Dan just by a slight edge. And
down to the final 60 seconds, and who will impose their will more? This fight hanging in the balance, Misaki and Henderson. Henderson comes forward with a nice knee and a nice right hand and a good left as well. Now it's Henderson beginning to unload, fully aware that only less than a minute remains.
You know, Dan definitely is being the aggressor. He's now starting to push the action. This is a good, great body shot right up top of the head.
Henderson just stalking Misaki.
Misaki running away now, trying to pick his spots. On his bike, as they would say in some other sports.
20 seconds left in the fight. Nice knee by Henderson. Follows that up with a left and a right. And a nice jab there from Misaki. It's going down to the wire, but it's an entertaining affair nevertheless. And Kazuo Misaki sending the Pride World Welterweight Champion a pretty strong message here, Trigg. They're going to the scorecards. And once again, it looked like Henderson wanted to give Misaki an embrace or show some kind of sportsmanship, but Misaki wants none of it.
Very close decision. I give the lead to Henderson. I think he won the effort to.
Well, let's go down to the criteria here. Effort to finish.
I think that's to Henderson. I think damage to your opponent goes to Dan. He did a lot more work. Definitely connecting with a lot more punching when they were on their feet. Always coming forward. You know, the takedown advantage, of course, goes to Misaki. He got the takedown early in the first round. But aggressiveness goes to Dan. He stepped forward the entire time. Misaki, although was doing a good job with his foot motion, seemed to be running. Not that he was running, he was on his bike a little bit, but just an aggressiveness factor has to go to Dan.
Henderson has had in his career the label that he does go the distance more often than not. How do you see that playing into tonight's tilt? The fact that once again we're going to the judges and Kazuo Misaki again in a non-title affair, acquitting himself well. You feel Henderson's done enough to pull out the decision. We're about to find out, but it definitely was a close encounter tonight.
Judge Ohashi, da. Judge Mato, da. Judge Yage, da.
A close unanimous decision if there is ever such a thing, and you can even see with Henderson's look on his face, Trigg, that he knows it wasn't his best outing, and props to Kazuo Misaki. And finally, they do show that sportsmanship, but a good effort by Kazuo Misaki, and the question is that enough for him to be a part of that Bushido Survival 06? He asks rhetorically.
I got to tell you what, he did enough in my book to get in there. He should be in there. Now the question is not, is he going to get the invitation to be one of the 16 men that's in that tournament? I really think that the Bushido Survival 06 tournament is a great spot for Misaki to dominate himself and prove that he should get a rematch with Dan.
A lot of great welterweights. Candidates to indeed be a part of Bushido Survival 06. It all gets underway June the 4th, a 16-man tournament. And in his first fight as champion in a non-title affair, Henderson does just enough to pull out a unanimous decision win over Team Grabaka's Kazuo the Hitman Misaki. Misaki making his way back to the dressing room. And he's receiving polite applause from the crowd here in Tokyo, Japan.
Ryan Parson, the guy in the red shirt, one of my good friends, and actually helps Dan with his diet, with his nutrition. That's one of the things that Dan said helped him get through that tournament, was the fact that Ryan was on his diet. It forced him to eat things he didn't want to eat, like, like broccoli and cauliflower and, vegetables, stuff that most guys don't want to eat.
Let's take a look once again at some of the action from this tilt.
Dan, every punch thrown with bad intentions. That was a great knockdown. I mean, I really think that was the deciding factor in this fight.
I think you're right.
Knees buckled, legs gave out, the whole thing. He drops right down to the canvas. But a great job of Misaki to come back. He didn't give up. He never stopped fighting. He almost steps into an ankle lock here in a second. Misaki, incredible. I'm really amazed with how good a fighter he really is.
Pride World Welterweight Champion Dan Henderson signing an autograph on his way back to the locker room, improves to 11-4 in his Pride Fighting Championships career. The Team Quest stud continuing to exchange pleasantries with the crowd. And again, we invite you to be a part of our next pay-per-view event, the 16-man welterweight tournament coming up in June, but the next time we'll be on pay-per-view is May the 5th from the Osaka Dome for the beginning of the Pride Open Weight Tournament. Don't miss it.
Tougher fight than you thought it was going to be?
I wouldn't say that. On his videos, he looks like he can take a punch, and he's a tough goer. So I expected a tough fight. I just thought I'd get a knockout, which I almost had him a couple times. He just got a little harder head than I would have liked, but I just beat him around the ring a little bit. And he's a tough guy, a good fighter.
He definitely could take a punch.
Yeah, he definitely could take a punch. I hit him pretty good a few times, and only really got one good knockdown out of it, but. And he controlled real well on top. He wasn't trying to do anything, but he just holding on. It's tough to get up and out when the guy does that.
So what happened? What happened to the knee?
Just tried to finish him with some head stomps, and.
When you guys were tied up along the ropes?
Yeah, I had him knocked down next to the ropes and tried to stomp him. Got my leg stuck in there, and just had it really tight figure four in his legs, and I couldn't go anywhere. So I just kind of waited for him to. Basically, that just let him recover. So then I had to start over again.
What about those spinning back fists? Surprise.
I do those quite a bit in practice. A lot of times I do them when I get out of position a little bit. And I remember him catching one leg, and I spun out. And I throw the back fist most of the time so the guy doesn't follow me, trying to take me down when I'm out of position. And a lot of times when he does follow me, that's when I catch him with it. And if he doesn't follow me, it just misses, and I'm okay. So
now what?
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I gotta talk to Pride and see what they got in mind for me. But I felt pretty good this fight. Just kind of tried to control the ring on my feet. So, which I did do. I knew he was going to run around a little bit.
He ran around a lot.
Yeah, I was just waiting for him to get tired. So. Yeah, it was actually a pretty fun fight. He didn't press the pace too much, maybe because I had him hurt a couple times, I don't know.
All right.
But he showed some good composure out there and kept going pretty good.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Pride fighting as a heavyweight champion. Pride fighting as a middleweight champion. Now, Pride is searching for the world's best absolute fighter. 16 fighters from different weight classes will square off in the world's biggest fighting tournament ever. Finally, one absolute fighting champion will be crowned, and only one organization is big enough to bring it to you. Pride Fighting Championships. Total Elimination. Absolute. Premiering Friday, May 5th on pay-per-view.
And it is a big chance of my life, I'm so, like I told you, I'm so glad to be here, and I'm so glad to have this opportunity. This is a chance to make my dreams come real. So I'm here to do my best. I'm gonna try. I don't care what's gonna happen, and I'm not gonna stop in this fight. I'm gonna do my best. I came here to show to everybody how good I am, and how good my team is.
グレコローマンレスリングはですね、多少やりましたけど、 僕もグラウンドの試合っていうのは今回ちょっと望んでませんし、どっちが自分のフィールドで戦えるか、そういう戦いになると思うんですけど、
He does mistakes like everyone, you know, and I trained a lot. I saw a lot of mistakes in the tapes, and I tried to make a game for this. I tried to make a strategy. His ground is not that so good. You know, he does a lot of mistakes on the ground. He just fights at the ground for escape the position and back up to the strike again. So that's what I see. You know, so his ground is not that so good.
過去のね試合した人も決められてませんし、まあ判定で勝ってますけど、まあダメージからいくとね、龍太郎選手もノーダメージですし、逆にあの打撃で僕と向かい合うってことはどういうことかっていうのは、分かってるのかなと思いますけどね。
赤コーナーより五味隆則選手の入場です。
It is time for the main event of Bushido 10, and it will feature the ace of Bushido, the best lightweight fighter on the planet, the Bushido lightweight tournament champion and the reigning Pride World lightweight title holder, Takanori Fireball Kid Gomi, coming off one of the most memorable years any fighter has had in this sport's history. At Shockwave 2005, he became the first Japanese Pride champion when he TKO'd Hayato Sakurai to win the Bushido lightweight tournament. He was the Pride MVP 2005, and he's here now in a non-title affair against Marcus Maximus Aurelio.
メインイベントを行います。青コーナー178センチ 72.8 キロ Marcus Aurelio!
Marcus Aurelio is 32, 5'10", 159 pounds, 2-1 in Pride fighting.
赤コーナー173センチ 72.9 キロプライドグランプリ2005ライト級トーナメント王者プライドライト級チャンピオンゴミTakanori!
The Pride World Lightweight and a lightweight tournament champion, Takanori Fireball Kid Gomi's 27, 5'8", 154 pounds, a perfect 10-0 in Pride fighting. It's a non-title affair. Trig, how do you rate Marcus Aurelio's chances in this one?
If he can get this to the ground, get Gomi on his back, or very, very quickly get him in a precarious position for a small submission, Aurelio has a chance of submitting Gomi right away. His ground game is amazing. His takedowns are incredible. He has a good shot tonight.
The main event is underway. Both fighters ghosting each other in the early going here. Gomi, of course, undefeated in his Pride career, becoming a superstar in the process. And Marcus Aurelio of the American top team here to try to record the upset. Murilo Bustamante of the Brazilian top team in Aurelio's corner, American top team, an offshoot of BTT, and Ricardo Laborio unable to make this trip.
Now you may be thinking that Gomi's acting, a little foolish out there with his knee twitches and jumping up and down, but you know that he really wants to get us to the ground. You keep throwing knees, or keep the perception that you're going to throw a knee, will keep a guy from shooting on you. Because there's no way that I'm going to shoot in and try and catch a knee to the face.
Aurelio started training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at the age of 9, but he does train in boxing, Muay Thai, and wrestling with the likes of Laborio, Conan Silveira, and the rest of American Top Team. In fact, he did a lot of boxing training with his coach, the 1976 Olympic gold medalist, Howard Davis Jr. Nice jab there by Aurelio. Gomi cutting off the ring here, Trig.
Great footwork by Gomi as always. Using that foot speed, getting in, getting out, staying out of Aurelio's range. As you notice, he's always trying to keep his right foot out of the front space of Aurelio's left foot. Always wants to the outside.
Stance.
Exactly.
Nice. Left and a good takedown by Aurelio.
That's what I was talking about. As soon as Gomi went for that big haymaker punch, Aurelio stepped right in and took him down.
And if there is one weakness, one Achilles heel in Gomi's game, it is the ground game. He admitted it to us. And Aurelio now here needs to maximize this advantage.
Well, here's the thing. It's an Achilles heel, but how much of an Achilles heel? We're about to find out with an amazing jiu-jitsu practitioner like Aurelio on top.
Gomi, an accomplished wrestler, but right now being controlled by Marcus Maximus Aurelio on the top. And you're right, Craig, this is where Aurelio wanted to take this fight and able to do so in the first 2 minutes.
Did a great job. I really like that takedown. Good viciousness. The shoot through hard, and finish to the back.
A good hip movement from Gomi on the bottom, controlling any attempts at a guard pass here by Aurelio.
Got it. Aurelio's got a bit of an arm triangle. If he get his head up.
You can see the look on Gomi's face.
This is tight.
Unbelievable.
Oh, wow.
Almost an upset here. You saw the pain on Gomi's face. He was having a hard time breathing.
Trying to get out of that space, it's a real tight. If you get the guy with like Aurelio's credentials on top, if he gets that arm triangle, you can finish the fight very quickly. Gomi's doing a good job of tying him up, though, not getting much damage done to him, staying in the guard. Notice how he's always pummeling inside, Gomi is. He's always trying to be inside the arms, trying to keep control.
Aurelio doing a good job delivering body shots and some hammer fists as well. But again, Gomi defending well from the bottom. The closed guard. Trying to neutralize Aurelio's arms. Aurelio still has that right arm free and is able to liberally disperse those strikes.
Nice job stepping over. Oh.
Gomi here trying to...
Oh no, he's got the arm triangle.
Now
it's locked in. Can he finish? Can he finish? This is locked up. This is a submission position. He can knock Gomi completely unconscious right here. He's got it tight. He's got it tight.
Belly position as well. This
Shoulders
is
are
the
the
most
chin.
danger that Gomi has been in Pride Fighting Championships. Gomi desperately trying to escape from the bottom. That arm triangle is sunk in by Aurelio.
It's it.
It's over!
It's over!
Unbelievable upset! Marcus Aurelio has handed Takanori Gomi his first loss in Pride Fighting Championships.
That was an amazing way to get to that arm triangle. I can't believe he sunk that in as tight as he got it in.
4 minutes and 34 seconds of the opening round. Marcus Maximus Aurelio becomes the first fighter to defeat Takanori Gomi in the main event of Bushido 10. Unbelievable.
You know, it's amazing. Aurelio knew that he had to get to the ground. He knew he had to use his foot speed. He had to get it to a submission position. He did an incredible job of working the entire time while he was on top.
And the crowd here at the Ariake Coliseum in Tokyo sitting in stunned silence. Meanwhile, a celebration of epic proportions in the ring. The American Top Team saluting Marcus Aurelio. Trig, what are your thoughts on an epic upset here tonight?
This is great. It puts him on the map. He definitely beat. There was an argument that we used to have every day if Gomi was pound for pound one of the best fighters ever to play the game.
And
Aurelio
to add,
now has put himself in that market.
And to add insult to injury, Marcus Aurelio scales the turnbuckles now here in the corner and is mimicking what Gomi does when he's victorious. So
Well, you know, here's the thing. When you're a great guy, when you're on top, this happens to all of us. When you're on top and you lose, people want to mimic what you do. It's a sign of respect, actually, more than it is a sign of cajoling, because it's Gomi made that position famous, staying on a turnbuckle, and really had to follow suit.
An amazing victory. American Top Team continues to celebrate, and Pride Fighting Championships continues to amaze.
You know, tonight, American Top Team, Brazilian Top Team had a great evening. As we look at the replay here, Gomi missed that big overhand left and got taken down right to the ground. Marcus took his time, kept fighting, kept banging, kept looking to trap that arm. You see, once he gets his arm up, tries to get his head up. This is earlier when Gomi was trying to get out of it. Marcus needs to get his head up a little bit higher to finish this arm triangle. You can see here, now it's up tight. He's stepped all the way over to the side and he has it locked down.
And I guess the question was answered. The ground game, indeed, the Achilles heel of what many people thought was an unbeatable fighter in Takanori Gomi here in Pride Fighting Championships, suffering only his third loss ever. The other two, Joachim Hansen and BJ Penn, but tonight it's Marcus Aurelio who stuns the MMA world with the chokeout victory over the Pride World Lightweight Champion. The saving grace for Gomi, Trig, a non-title affair, but obviously this sets up a rematch for the belt.
You have to have a rematch for the belt. I mean, it's almost mandatory. You have to have it as soon as possible, because to get beaten in a non-title affair like this within the first round, there wasn't a weird finish, there wasn't a strange finish, there wasn't a controversial finish. It ended by a complete submission, chokeout. You have to have a title fight now between these two.
Marcus Aurelio has put himself on the MMA map here tonight in the main event.
Obrigado. Tô sem palavras. Queria dizer uma coisa. Isso aqui que está acontecendo agora é a realização de sonho que poucos sabem, mas que durou uma vida.
An emotional Aurelio addressing the crowd in his native Portuguese. And like you said, Trig, a great night for American Top Team, Brazilian Top Team. But no bigger an upset or win but that of Marcus Aurelio.
It's hard to explain. It's like the undefeated Dolphins of 72 getting beat by the Bills that year, you know, who were 3-12. It's like the Toronto Blue Jays winning the World Series. I mean, it's
right here in Japan, it's like Buster Douglas beating Mike Tyson for the world title,
which happened in 1990 here in Tokyo.
Unbelievable.
It's the exact same thing. It seems that Tokyo is the place for the amazing upsets.
And Pride Fighting Championships is the place for amazing fights. And again, Marcus Aurelio from American Top Team. You see Joachim Hansen, Jens Pulver, I think. They're wondering, what does this do now for the lightweight rankings? And is there a better division right now in mixed martial arts in terms of all the machinations and permutations? Hayato Maha Sakurai sitting back wondering what happened here tonight. It is unbelievable, but this division now has been definitely put on its ear. Marcus Aurelio with the upset, vanquishing Takanori Gomi in the main event, and let's revisit it one more time.
Stepping over, trying to get to that half guard, slides his head around, immediately sinks it up, looking for that. You know, Gomi needed to get his arms, his elbows caught by his ear. He needs to get his arm back down by the side of his head, almost like you're brushing your hair or painting a picture. You got to get your hand down, back down by the side of his head, and see how his hand is hanging out there in space. There's no way to defend it at that point. You either get a blackout or tap out.
Pride 31 was a night of upsets, but Bushido 10 with the biggest upset so far this year in mixed martial arts. The unbeaten Takanori Gomi suffering his first loss in Pride Fighting Championships. And what makes it worse for Gomi in his mind, Trig, is the fact that he just won one of the most memorable tournaments in MMA history, and just like that, incurs his first defeat.
Well, you must understand, if you're willing to play in the game, you're going to lose. There's no way you can compete at this high a level in one-on-one combative sports without expecting to get a loss at some point. Now, no one wants to see it happen to anybody at any time, especially if you're a fan of Gomi's, but it happened tonight. Now we'll see what kind of man he is. He has another loss. Is he going to stand up and rise up, step up again to fight another day, or is he going to quit? That's the kind of testament that happens in this warrior spirit in Bushido. All these men in here will lose at some point in their careers, and they all come back to fight another day.
The best. He's the best, man.
So the next time Pride Fighting Championships will be on pay-per-view is May 5th, the beginning of the Pride Openweight Tournament. What upsets lie in that tourney? Only time will tell. Already officially entered. 2 Japanese participants, Hidehiko Yoshida and Tsuyoshi Kosaka. And then on June the 4th, it's the beginning of Bushido Survival 06 as the 16-man welterweight tournament gets underway. But the star of the night and the star of the year thus far, Marcus Aurelio, does what many people thought might have been unthinkable. He upsets Takanori Gomi in the main event of Bushido 10. Your final thoughts, Trig?
Absolutely amazing. I can't believe it, how quickly he did it. He had full confidence in himself. He knew he had to get it to the ground. He stuck to his game plan. He believed in his corner, which is very important as an athlete in this sport, and he made that happen. He made that work. He willed it for himself to come out there with that victory tonight. A great night of action ends in stunning fashion. For Frank Trigg, I'm Mauro Ranallo. Thank you for watching Bushido 10, and good night from the Ariake Coliseum in Tokyo, Japan.
Congratulations, put it into words.
Thank you very much, man. Thanks God, thanks my team, thanks my teammates, my brothers, everybody who trusts me, I did my best. I worked hard to be here, and I worked hard for today. This is a dream for me.
You had him once, it seemed. You got out of it, then you got him.
Yeah, man, I'm so happy, for being #1 now. Thanks Gomi. He's a tough guy, but today is my day, man. I'm sorry.
Walk us through the fight a little bit, just, your thoughts going into it when the bell rang.
Yeah, I started slow, I felt him, and we did a little punch, and I was waiting for the moment to shoot in his leg and take him down and do my game, I believe jiu-jitsu is the best way, Jiu-jitsu, man, just put jiu-jitsu. That was in my head. Use jiu-jitsu and go deep, submit him, and I did.
Yeah, you said in your pre-fight interview that he had some holes in his game. It looks like you found one.
Yeah, I showed it. He's a really tough guy, but I'm better than him on the ground. I know this, and I proved today. I proved tonight.
So now, do you want a rematch for the belt?
Yeah, man. Now I'm gonna take some days to rest, and we're gonna think this later. Of course, I will be back for Gomi or everyone, man. I'm ready. I'm an ATT fighter, I'm always ready to fight.
Congratulations.
Thank you everybody, you gotta see the show. Pride is the best show of the world, man. Thanks.
Congratulations.
Thank you.